Heart scan. That's all you got to do. Pound 250. Say the keyword free heart scan. You'll be connected in seconds, guys. Make that call and make this the year you take control of your long-term health care. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from iHeartMedia. Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
What sets International Diamond Center apart from those big box jewelry chain stores?
The problem with big chain stores is that they're all run by corporate.
IDC owner Keith LeClaire.
That means the people at the store level just plain don't care much.
At IDC, you're not dealing with a bunch of retail clerks. You're working with a true jewelry professional who's not on commission and not beholden to a bunch of corporate dictated rules and policies.
When you're in big corporate world, everybody operates out of a manual or a big book of rules. At IDC, we don't have a manual telling our people how to deal with customers. We empower our people to take care of those customers in the way they would want to be taken care of.
Get the respect, guidance, professionalism, and genuine care you deserve from people who put you first.
We tell them point blank, do whatever it takes to make the customer happy, period.
International Diamond Center, locally owned, internationally connected.
We want them to take care of you, protect you, and make it the best experience that you could possibly have.
International Diamond Center, 4 Orlando locations and always at shopidc.com.
This is trial attorney Jeff Kaufman from the injury law firm of Kaufman Lind. I bought a pair of Jordan 5s off eBay. They went through the authentication process. When they got here, something was wrong with them. I put them on and they immediately self-destructed. I contacted eBay. They said they weren't responsible. I filed multiple emails, photos, complaints. I didn't stop till I won. That's what I did for a pair of tennis shoes. Imagine what I would do for you. Contact me at whenyouneedus.com or dial 407-500-JEFF. That's 407-500-5333, offices Orlando.
Hey everybody, this is Josh and Chuck from the Stuff You Should Know podcast. And if you've ever wanted to know about champagne, Satanism, the Stonewall Uprising.
Oh, how about chaos theory, El Nino, LSD, little true crime sprinkled in, or maybe something historical like Rosa Parks.
Yeah, if you want any of that or anything else you can think of, then look no further. We have you covered.
That's right. Listen to the Stuff You Should Know podcast on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Stuff You Should Know and start listening.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Score new Nissans from 18.9. It's a win at Sutherland Nissan Orlando.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because clients and character matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The 3 best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Thursday, September 26, 2024. Lots to get to today, from Category 5 Helene ? To an update on the Trump rally eye injuries, and New York City Mayor Eric Adams is in trouble. Plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Hello.
Hello, C-Lane. Howdy. And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. All you have to do is send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com, and you can send a dispatch right now. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right into the studio in real time. How's everybody doing on a Thursday?
Good. Ready to rock and roll, baby.
Almost forgot the intro like 10 times there. I was so distracted. I don't know what's going on with me today.
Oh, there's a hurricane.
Yeah, that's one thing. I'm waking up kind of sideways. It's already a little bit rough out there. It's not like a joke at this point in time, although we're still pretty early on in the hurricane. It's windy, rainy, nasty.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when I woke up this morning to walk Carl, I'm like, okay, I see some wind, but it won't be that bad. And then within the last 30 minutes, I'm like, oh, okay, it is going to be real nasty out.
Yeah, we got to look at what everything's going to look like for what could be at the least maybe a 3 to a 4, Category 4 hurricane, Helene, potentially higher because of some things that are going on with this storm. All of that is on the way, of course, and we'll tell you all the updates you need to know as the day goes on. All right, here we go. Let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great big wide world of ours, and we go to Disneyland, the happiest place on earth. For those of you actually type nerds out there, it is Disneyland that is the happiest place on earth, and Disney World is the most magical place on earth. I've screwed that up before. Nerdos will get you. They will get you on that one. This was a woman who went in with her children, who she alleged to be under the age of 2, so that they could get into the park for a deal.
I saw this video.
They also said she just completely ran around the check-in. She didn't go in and pay for her tickets. She just tried to barge into Disneyland.
You can't do both. Like you can't run a my children are 2 scheme and then call attention to yourself by also trying to barge through a turnstile.
Boy, are you wrong, because
Good
you
advice.
can. It's just when you do it, you're going to get kicked out and arrested every single time. And I guess this woman has done this before. The visual is not great, though, because you just got the cops hauling some mom and her little kids that are like, ah!
The kids was the one thing. Like, it looked like it was coming out of a war zone, the way that they were screaming and holding onto their mom. And then you have some guy that works at Disney trailing behind, like, when the parades happen. He's like, please move aside. Thank you so much. Yeah, Mickey's going to be here soon.
Don't worry, folks. It's all okay. Here we go. You stop hurting me, she said. You're tugging me. And the little kids are getting dragged out with her.
It's so embarrassing, man.
Directing traffic this way. I'm so glad my mom wasn't a nutso like this. Oh, God, I thank my lucky stars.
My mom was not a nutso. My mom is not a nutso. But
yeah, well, don't say was there. That's not good.
Certainly, like, we had and it lasted maybe a couple years where we were younger.
Right.
There was 4 of us. I mean, so everyone was under the age of 3 for about 4 years. If we could manage it.
Yes, but this woman, if she was just busted in, number one, already you're breaking law. But if you bust in and then you try to say that your kids are under 2, those kids were every bit of 5 or 6 years old. Those kids were not 2.
Dude, there was another angle of that video, or her being walked out, that the kids are holding on to her and they're saying, ayúdame, ayúdame, which is like, help me, but screaming and crying.
Oh,
which was just so sad. But the cops were like, all right, keep walking, let's go.
People who would just watch this would go, why would they ever do this to a mother? And you go, well, she jumped the turnstile entrance port.
She did something illegal.
Yeah, she started trying to pretend her kids were a different age than they were. This is what happens. And there's so many people that go into these parks each day. It's inevitable you're going to have situations like this.
But one that goes viral, that's a different story.
Everybody's got cameras everywhere now, man. It is just so crazy how many things get caught on tape. Hurricane Helene is rolling through probably the state of Florida very soon. We've got the latest forecast on this. We'll give you the updates during the breaks on the show. Let me see if I can bring up the latest from NOAA on right now, Category 2 Hurricane Helene. This sucker is right out there in the Gulf of Mexico, hitting some warm waters. Let's see, this is the latest right here. No, I got the 10 a.m. here, so this is from earlier today. This says Hurricane Helene advisory number 13. Helene strengthening and expected to make landfall in the Florida Big Bend this evening as a major hurricane, which would be fairly historic. I don't think that area of the state of Florida has been hit with a hurricane in something like 100 years.
Damn.
This area where this thing is going to hit. So Floridians are always ready. Just for those of you listening elsewhere, we mostly know what to do to get ready for storms. But if you haven't been hit in 100 years and you get a direct hit, that's another thing entirely. Big storm surge warnings here. You've got Tampa in the sights, Charlotte Harbor in the
Tampa's
sights.
going to get rocked, man. And Tallahassee, the way that it looks.
Yeah, Tallahassee definitely in the center of this thing. Right now, it's offshore off the west coast of Florida. Maximum sustained winds have increased to near 105 miles per hour with higher gusts than that. So this will be serious, and it will be big, and it's going to be a storm that is going to have an impact on almost everybody.
It looks like it's taking a nice little trip up the coast, and just like but staying in the water for a while.
Yeah,
to strengthen up. Unfortunately,
it's looking at us outside the window with some what's it called, binoculars.
Binoculars. Yes,
they're staring at the state of Florida. Helene is with some binoculars, saying, "Yeah, I see you. I'm going to make a move here eventually." But I see you. Here's a local 10 down south talking about Helene and what we have ahead of us here.
And I'm Alex Finney. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. And of course, all eyes, we are tracking Hurricane Helene this morning. Now a Category 2 storm.
We have live team coverage with crews spread out all
Okay, let's lower the bed,
Guys,
please.
I
Good
can't
God.
hear Eric and Alex. I need
Someone
to be able to hear them.
fade down.
It's like, and you just barely hear them murmuring in the background. You can't do that. You got to let them
What's the sound
speak.
again, Sean?
I made it once, and I believe that was enough for now, at least.
Tallahassee all the way down to Key West.
We begin with Weather Authority meteorologist Julie.
Do they not have a slider?
Updated on Helene and the warning
No fader?
for our area. Julie.
Yeah, that's right. If you're just joining us and you just woke up this morning, lots of things have evolved from the system. We are now dealing with a Category
Dead quiet
2
now.
hurricane. Hurricane Helene is spinning over the Gulf
She
of
sounds
Mexico.
tired already.
All right, you can see you got the bands
Look at
of
that
this
bad
storm already impacting Florida, going across the central portion of the southern part of the state of Florida. And everybody, like, this is a big storm. Look at the size of this thing. Take a look at that. She's
girthy.
Yeah, she's a big one. Helene is going currently from the Yucatan Peninsula and Cuba all the way up to bands of this sucker are affecting Charleston and Georgia and Charleston, South Carolina and Georgia. Now that's mostly just some wind and stuff. The rain bands are already over the state of Florida with some pretty significant rains there.
So I don't use Snapchat often, except when it comes to hurricanes, because they have like that map option.
Yeah,
so early this morning,
I forgot about that.
And I'm looking at like footage coming from Key West, and it's getting rocked already, flooded significantly. And then there's people just like eating a grilled cheese and drinking at 4 a.m.
Hanging out, right?
That's then you realize, oh yeah, we're in Florida, and most people just don't care, are going to ride it out.
Yeah, how are you guys feeling about this? Any kind of nerves ahead of Hurricane Helene here, or no?
I mean, I feel all right. The most nerves come from the flooding, because our neighborhood is just so bad with the flooding that I just want to be able to get home and not get my car stuck or something.
All right, let's talk about that real quick. What is the agenda? When you see this thing, it's going to be coming across tonight. Are you planning on going out and partying? Are you planning on hunkering down? What are you planning on doing? What's it look like?
I mean, I'm kind of just going to have to play it by ear.
I'm going to hunker down and party.
I'm going to do maybe a little bit of both. If my power goes out, I will find a place with power, as I do not care for just sitting it out and candles and all that.
No. On our walk yesterday, Courtney actually said, I can't do a power outage.
Don't you have a generator now?
No, we got some battery backups, and we got things that'll keep us going.
You still have that thing that Austin brought over the one time?
Not here at the moment.
I do have my giant, suitcase size power bank now.
There you go. Make sure that thing's charged up. Yeah.
Yeah, it is, but then what?
I don't know where that is in the move, so.
Oh, good.
See, Sealane I'm worried about right now, because Sealane's in a new house. They just got their new place. So you kind of don't know how this thing handles a hurricane. Will you lose the power? I mean, it's pretty close to your old house, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I didn't lose power in the old house. We have underground power, which is nice. We do not have storm drains. I'm on septic, so this side of the neighborhood does not have, but we're up. Like I'm like my my driveway has is kind of steeper than your normal driveway. I'm up.
Well, you had a little test last night, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
Huh?
So I've been super excited because the AT&T trucks and the people and the workers have been installing fiber lines on our side of the neighborhood lately, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get the fiber going, get a nice deal on it from AT&T, maybe do a little bundle action. Who knows? I don't know. And yesterday I was coming in and I was like, man, it's already pretty bad out here. Like I guess the rain's been hitting this area harder than I thought, because there's a lot of puddles and there was some minor flooding.
Right.
And when I got into my cul-de-sac, I realized the people installing the fiber lines cut right through a water line, and it was just gushing out of the side of this woman's mailbox. And all night, my street was littered in OUC trucks.
Oh, no. So they busted a water main before Hurricane Helene even approached.
Don't they have those poles that say, like, call before you dig?
Okay, so here's the thing. And so I talked to one of the OUC guys. I didn't...
Oh, you were that guy that came
No.
out like, hey, what's going on here? With your hands on your head?
I'm going to need this up and running faster,
Trust me, I had plenty other neighbors doing that. I walked out to kind of assess the situation and maybe take some pictures, and one of the guys starts walking towards me and goes, hey, man, Freebird?
Oh, what?
It was one of my old regulars from Casey's that worked for OUC.
Nice.
Great, all right.
Did you get his number so if things go down?
No, he gave me the lowdown. The culprit, and who might end up with this bill, I think, is the people that did the spray painting of where the lines should be.
Mm-hmm.
I think they just guessed. They were 5 feet off.
Oh,
like they
wow.
looked at the spray paint lines, and they looked at where the water line was that these people just cut into, and they were 5 feet away from each other. They had to bring in like full on a digger and dig up this woman's driveway to fix it. And we were all like, we all had no water. One of my neighbors, I've heard, was mid-shower, soap all over his face when the water just went.
Did they get that all fixed up this morning, or are they still going?
They were there till almost midnight.
Damn, yeah.
And they said it was the fourth or fifth time that the fiber installation has caused them to come out and fix water lines. So it's been a real process.
That sounds like a blast.
But nothing like a nice pre-flood flood.
Yeah, I'm looking at Hurricane Helene and going, the only thing I'm really concerned about is, as you guys know, we have a still 3 houses of construction going on across the street. So I don't know if they'll get the big giant trash things out of there.
Dumpster?
Or so there's a dumpster across the street, and then there's like this big old receptacle that they have that they're throwing stuff into. I don't know if they'll get those out of the way ahead of time, but if not, there's all kinds of stuff. There's unfinished homes and all sorts of stuff over there that I'm wondering if it's going to turn into projectiles and start flying around the neighborhood.
Oh, fun.
So other than that, everything will probably be fine. We're going to keep an eye on everything for you guys, and stick with us. We'll have some fun on the show today as we make our way through this Hurricane Helene news.
I do have a quick apology to make.
Oh, no, what'd you screw up?
Retraction?
I didn't screw
apology?
it up. It's an apology. It was an accident. I didn't do this on purpose, but somebody had commented that the sync on the stream was a little off, and so I needed to fix it.
Uh-huh.
And sometimes when you fix that, the screen freezes for a couple seconds.
Okay, so who got it?
And we got this.
Looks like I'm climaxing.
I was going for a sneeze, but
Also, what's my neck doing? Very strained.
I have no way of controlling exactly when that happens, but
all right, so now
bad.
it's stuck like that, or we?
No, right? Are we stuck like that? Oh, okay, good. We passed it. All right, we are good to go.
I think you would know already if it was stuck like that.
Probably not. We'll see.
We are loaded up. We've got a ton of stuff to get to today. And when we come back, I want to talk about why there is a chance that Hurricane Helene could be even stronger. There's something special happening with this storm. We got to have that on the radar. And there are 130 locations of a place from your childhood kaput, done, over with. Maybe this whole brand is toast, and it's your fault. Here's why. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
We are Real Radio 104.1. Online at realradio.fm. On your phone with the free iHeartRadio app. And, hey Google, play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
I would be happy to.
Authorities are still working on that accident on I-95 northbound before U.S. Highway 1. There's bumper-to-bumper traffic backed up from State Road 40. There's debris in the roadways blocking some lanes on Hiawassee Road north of Kingston High Boulevard. And expect tropical storm conditions all throughout the day. Travel with caution if you have to hop on any major roadways or bridges. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Dandy Fresh Cut Celery. Be prepared for the after-school snack attack. Create fresh, nutritious, and delicious snacks with Dandy Fresh Cut Celery. Put down the processed foods and pick up Dandy Fresh Cut Celery for a convenient and nutritious snack option that the kids will love.
We've all made questionable decisions in life, like that time that you frosted the tips of your hair. But hiring an attorney shouldn't be. I'm Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt, and we offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee on all injury cases. If you are not completely satisfied with the way we treat you in your case within the first 30 days, you can take your file back and you owe us nothing. No fees, no costs, and no questions asked. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit justcallmo.com.
Want a Big Green Egg? For the lowest price anywhere, go to Wassey's Meat Market. They'll deliver and set your Big Green Egg up so that you're cooking before they leave. Follow Wassey's Meat Market on Instagram or go to Wassey'sMeatMarket.com for your Big Green Egg today.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. Call 800-522-5700. 800-522-5700.
Moments like my daughter telling me a new joke mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight or is business at an all-time high? Well, maybe it's time for you to sell, retire, and just relax with a bunch of money in the bank. Hi, I'm Andy Cagnetta, and at Transworld Business Advisors, we've been selling businesses for 40 years. And with offices located throughout the world, we have thousands of buyers immigrating to the United States ready to buy your business. Don't wait until the last minute or try to do it yourself. That's a recipe for disaster. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value and how Transworld can maximize your eventual selling price. That's the winning formula. It has never been a better time to sell your business than right now. Call Transworld at 833-SELL-FLA or visit tworld.com. That's 833-SELL-FLA or visit tworld.com.
Heads up, Orlando. Holiday wonders in the air. Dr. Phillips Center presents Cirque Mechanics Winter Wonder Shop, December 12th through 29th. A high-flying, must-see holiday Cirque spectacular. With incredible aerial stunts and mind-blowing machinery, it's all happening under the big top on Center Arts Plaza. Cirque Mechanics Winter Wonder Shop, supported by Chick-fil-A. December 12th through 29th. Get tickets now at drphillipscenter.org. Purchase early and save. Holidays at Dr. Phillips Center, supported by First Horizon Bank.
This is where horror lives. Silence your screams if you want to survive the terrifying post-apocalyptic world of A Quiet Place. It's It's just one of the terrifying haunted houses you'll experience at Universal Orlando Halloween Horror Nights. Select nights August 30th to November 3rd. Not recommended for children under 13.
Log on to realradio.fm/contest for your chance to win tickets to Universal Orlando Halloween Horror Nights.
In life and recovery, every day is a little different. Embrace the good days, the not so good days, and the challenges, and acknowledge how you overcame them. Find the path to recovery that works for you. Learn more at cdc.gov/stopoverdose.
Florida's law enforcement officers know how to keep us safe, but Tallahassee politicians think they know better. That's why they're lying about Amendment 3. The truth? Amendment 3 will protect Floridians from marijuana laced with deadly drugs like fentanyl and provide billions in funding for police. Here's Gadsden County Sheriff Morris Young on Amendment 3.
I'm Sheriff Morris Young. Illicit marijuana laced with illegal drugs like fentanyl have destroyed lives. I know because I've seen it firsthand. Amendment 3 will save lives by making marijuana safe, regulated, and lab tested. Amendment 3 will protect our community from dangerous illegal drugs while allowing law enforcement to focus on serious crimes. Vote yes on Amendment 3, the smarter and safer choice for Florida.
Paid political advertisement paid for by Smart and Safe Florida, 1400 Village Square Boulevard, Suite number 3, 321 Tallahassee, Florida, 32312.
Bonkers Comedy Club returns to the Wharf at Sunset Walk with Ross Padgett live. Saturday, October 5th at 9:30 p.m. Come by for a free special encore performance starring Ross Padgett with special guest Brad Schutz. Register now to reserve your space at wharfatsunsetwalk.com. Don't miss Ross Padgett's live performance at the Wharf at Sunset Walk next to Margaritaville Resort Orlando. Saturday, October 5th at 9:30 p.m. To reserve your free tickets today, visit wharfatsunsetwalk.com.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like the Beatles Now and Then, celebrating all things Beatles. Legendary clips, deep cuts, live performances, and all their solo hits. Just open the free iHeartRadio app and search the Beatles Now and Then and listen now. iHeartRadio, free never.
Fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
They're best friends, unless they're fighting. Are they fighting? It's the news.
More about the show at any time. You can subscribe to the podcast. You can do all that good stuff over on the website. Where's that? It's at thenewsjunkie.com. Big question for everybody. Actually, it's a strange question.
Small
but I just want to see what your small answer is, Helene, and you, Sabrina, as well.
Yeah.
And everybody over on chat and dispatches. I'd love to see where your head is at on this, because I was kind of shocked by the results of this investigation. And they looked into what happens in a city when the wheels start to fall off. Let's say you take one of these cities where they decide we're not going to go after this small theft of items inside a retail store. We're going to have a revolving door where people, even if they do get arrested, which most times they don't because the cops aren't even dispatched, because why bother? They don't stay behind bars for long, and then they just go do it again. There's not a huge reason for them not to steal stuff. So you have these antisocial weirdos who'll go into a CVS with a big garbage bag and steal everything they can. So when that happens, right, when a store starts getting robbed from over and over and over and over and over again, what's the thing that you see happening inside the store? What's the thing that the store starts to do as a response?
They start to lock everything up behind a glass case with the key needed.
Yeah. They start with expensive stuff, and then they expand it from there. And the next thing you know, you get to some of these dystopian stores where you look around and almost everything is locked up, and it's not a good shopping.
Unlock some chips, unlock some of that cheese dip for me.
You basically need a personal shopper so that you can go through the store and then go, one of these, please, and then unlock it. One of these, please. The chips, please, unlock it. The deodorant, if you don't mind. So now we go to the question. Sabrina, you're inside a CVS, and you're shopping for a couple of things you need.
Tampons, kitty litter, condoms.
All right, you got your whole list, right? And as you're going through the aisles.
Yeah, Helene, yeah, condoms.
You see something that's not on your list, but you're interested, and you look up and you go, it's locked up. I would buy that, but it's locked up. What do you do now?
I mean, am I interested in it or I need it? Like, that's what
you are interested in it. It is not a must-buy purchase, but it's something that you see and you go, I'd buy that. But, it's locked up. What do I do now?
I probably would not go through the trouble of waiting for somebody to open it up.
Okay, what about you, Helene? What would you do? You go and you see and you go, that's cool, but it's locked up on the thing.
One time, and this is really on the Walgreens that I was at, but I needed something that was behind there. I think it was some sort of allergy meds that they had behind the panel that was locked. However, the panel is just a front panel, right? So I reached around it and got my allergy meds.
This guy, he's got to work around. What is your answer to a situation where you can't do that? Do you go hunt the person down and get them to unlock it and get this item for you? Or do you say, that's annoying, forget it?
I'd probably go get the person.
Okay. 68% of people said if they see a product that's locked in a display case, they will not buy it. They will not ask anybody for any help. They will just look up. They'll see that it's locked away in one of those stores, and they'll just go on with their day. All right, no, I don't need that. I'll get that some other time.
I can look on my Amazon app at that moment and say, okay, it's available for same-day delivery. I'll just do it with that.
Yep, that's what a lot of people do. They go, forget it.
But if it's something I need right now, I'll get
wait.
it. Like for example, there was some situation where I needed a small SD card, like right away.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but that's under lock and key. So I was like, guys, I need you to unlock the mini SD cards, please. I need to grab one.
And it's weird because there's usually only one person at the register. Right. They're checking somebody out, and then you're like, could I? And then they got to get you into the lock case. This says lock display cases, the theft prevention measure that makes shoplifting less grab and go and more wait and see, aimed to prevent shoplifting. But a new survey suggests that particular solution might be worse than the problem. Upon discovering that an item they want to buy is in a locked case, less than 1 in 3 shoppers will go get that store employee to unlock the case. Of course, it's annoying. It said for 55% of respondents, it's a lost sale because when a product is locked up, they try to buy it elsewhere, like you guys just said with Amazon or something. It's too easy. The remaining 13% try to find an alternative product in the same store that's not locked up, meaning they'll probably miss out on this too. Only 32% say, let me get an employee and let me get them to unlock this. One of the people that was asked says, if I encounter a locked case, I'm not going to start looking for a store clerk going up and down every aisle or pressing a button waiting for somebody to come over. But the fact that it was over 50% of the people that felt the way I did, I was really surprised by this, said the people behind this. And I'm not surprised.
I mean, I'm not surprised either, but if this is going to be the way that the store is set up moving forward, then why not go the route of your Amazon stores or even vending machine style where no one has to wait. You have one employee who's running around like crazy to unlock things where you can just maybe scan your phone and get the item and move on with your day. Everyone's kind of winning at that point because there's no theft.
Yeah, but I think those Amazon stores end up closing. I don't think that, or they just steal from there. What prevents them from stealing from the Amazon store?
You have
to scan to go in.
Yeah, but you would have to jump the turnstile somehow to get in.
Oh, I mean, they do that. That's no problem for most of these people. There's no great solution other than arrest people and keep them arrested when they steal stuff. But the solution of locking everything up is a turnoff. People don't like it. And you guys mentioned Amazon. This is not crazy, right? This is not crazy at all. You could very well be in the aisle at a CVS. Let's say you're looking at the deodorant and you say the deodorant's locked up. Jesus, what's this world coming to right now? You go on your phone, go to Amazon, and you could very well that same day, within a matter of hours, have that same product just sitting at your doorstep. No problems. Yep. Nobody trying to, you have to hunt down to try to get the access to this stuff. That's a problem. That's a huge issue.
I think the problem with the Amazon store is it's such a step away from your normal shopping experience that the older generations are not going to understand it as well. And they're just, I mean, they're going to like, what? I have to use this app to get in and scan, and then there's nobody. There's no human interaction in it. There's some people like, you know, when I was little, I was like, one day you're just going to be able to order this stuff on computers. And my dad's cousin was like, that's no fun. There's nobody to talk to.
No. Okay.
You know?
Old people love that. Old people love a conversation. Right? They love to go to the store and be like, Jeremy.
Sometimes to the detriment of the people behind them in line. My gosh. But, you know, that's why I think those Amazon stores that we talk about that are super cool and super convenient and easy, if you have the hang of it, if you have, you know, technology on your side, they're great. But that's why they're only in big cities. You know, that's why I had to go to New York to finally find one and go into it, because they're just not going to, and they don't even survive some of the big cities. They're not going to survive somewhere that has a huge older demographic.
Right. Jeremy on YouTube says,
that
if what you need,
not going to survive the next 10 years, let's be honest here.
If what you need is locked up, you're in the wrong part of town. Stop shopping with the poors and go to a better store. I've been in decent neighborhoods and gone into stores and certainly seen select items that are locked up. If you go into a store and everything is locked up, yes, you are in a bad part of town. I mean, this is like being in the ghetto and going to that quick shop where they got bars. The bars on all the windows kind of place. That's where you can't even physically get near the person who works there because they're behind bulletproof glass and they got like a little cubby that you put the money in and they put the product in and they shift it back and forth. That is the bad neighborhood. But even in decent neighborhoods, there's certain items that they end up locking up. I've seen a lot of these Targets where, and this is in bad neighborhoods mostly, where they'll lock up the baby formula, where they'll lock up the Tide, you know, they'll lock up the stuff that costs a whole bunch of money.
I will tell you this, the particular Walgreens that I had to reach around, like I paid for it, I'm not stealing stuff, but where I had to circumvent the locked up allergy medicine was in Sean's neighborhood.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
It's a bad neighborhood around here. Dangerous. I don't go out without a gun. And when you're out there in the real world, you're encountering these types of things. Everybody's saying, yeah, go where Watson shops. C-Lane just told you. It's the same store in the neighborhood where I am has stuff locked up. Y'all. It is. It's a tough time out there for a player. Either way.
That particular, like, not even this being like your neighborhood, but that particular little spot there, that little block, there's a lot of homeless people hang out there.
Yeah, but it doesn't even matter in some places, though. They just have some items where it's expensive and they don't want to get robbed anymore. They're tired of it. And they build it into the future of their models, too. What do you think happens with self-checkout? Do you know how much money gets stolen from grocery stores every single day with self-checkout? Every single day. You go to a Home Depot. Home Depot now only has self-checkout. And have one person standing there sort of watching you, like, don't cheat the machine. And you ring up all your stuff and you leave the Home Depot. And people just steal stuff all the time. They just don't ring something up and they walk out, and that's that.
Wow, Evil Eye just chimed in with a store whose name I haven't heard in probably a decade. It said this place failed because you got your stuff only at checkout. Like I think you just got little slips and you brought them to checkout and get your stuff. Service merchandise. Remember service merchandise? When was the last time you heard somebody talk about service merchandise? That's a throwback.
I don't know. They might have gone out of business before Circuit City, that place. that was a while ago. Anonymous says Home Depot has regular checkouts. They just only really push you to the self-checkout. The places I've gone to, sure, they have the checkouts. Just like I went to Target not that long ago, a couple days ago with Courtney, and there were maybe, try not to exaggerate, maybe 20 checkout lines, 20 regular checkout lines at Target. One was open. There was one that was open. Everybody else was being funneled through the self-checkout. And we now have this weird circumstance where the stores, which were mostly built in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, they were built when everybody wanted more checkout lines.
Exactly.
But you have all this room taken up by checkout lines, but nobody's using them. There's no employees there. The stores are ghost towns. And it's just making everything a worse shopping experience. And this, I think, shows you that people don't like this.
I think the thing that you just described makes it look like makes the problem look worse, even if the problem is not as bad as it seems. When you look at 22 checkout lines and 3 of them are open, and then there's the section for self-checkout, you go, well, I mean, if they would just open more, they've got the checkout lines. Why would they just open more? But there's
nobody that works there anymore, though.
Yeah.
It is so dead. At Target, there was one person who I saw wandering around. Then there were 2 people. This is an annoying one. 2 people in the electronics section, but the 2 people in the electronics sections, they work for the cellular.
Yeah, I was going to say. That person is definitely always there.
And they spend their entire shift, or at least the majority, having people ask them questions for Target. And they're like,
exactly.
I'm just Boost Mobile. Thank you.
Somebody goes, how do I get this gaming system? How do I get this? How do I get that? They're there to sell the cellular services. And there's more of them than there is anybody else. I didn't see anybody at all on the grocery side. And then when you start to see people, when you go to check out, there was, again, one person hovering over the self-checkout and one aisle open. It's just dead, man, and it's a bad experience. Tell us if you're on the same page with this or if you kind of like it. Let us know. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch right now. All right, I teased this. Let's pay it off. A place is about to shut down 130 locations.
No.
One major franchise owner is giving up. They're suggesting that this brand from your childhood may be RIP. And are there any guesses as to what place needs a major U-turn because they're not doing well right now?
From childhood?
From your childhood? It's a food place from your childhood. Not Chuck E. Cheese. It's a delivery place from your childhood.
Oh, Little Caesars
from
is
my childhood.
not delivery. That was the whole point.
Little Caesars hangs on because of
they don't deliver.
Cheap pizzas. Yeah, they have cheap pizzas, and you can go in there and just grab a hot and ready and go. But no, this is Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut is melting out there. And they're about to shut down 127 locations. They filed for bankruptcy in this one franchisee's territory.
I mean, call me crazy. But it seems like, and I know that there would be people who would suggest otherwise. Seems like there are some people that are out pizzaing the Hut.
Dude, that's so cruel.
Even Domino's. Domino's was where Pizza Hut is now, and they pulled themselves up.
Yes.
They repaired Domino's, and they made it better.
Little Caesars just keeps on a-going.
They're trucking over at Little Caesars. They're chucking and trucking over at Little Caesars.
Chucking pizzas right at you. You open the door.
That much is true. But Pizza Hut is mega on the decline. They really have been kind of falling apart, and I wonder why. Maybe you have some thoughts on that as well. Let us know. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch right now. MFQ says, Pizza Hut quality went downhill for me. Doesn't taste the same. A lot of people might be on that same page, friend, because they don't seem to be doing as well. All right, we'll get to
this is good news for that blog, though, of the things that used to be Pizza Huts.
Right, yeah, they're wide open. That was that Pinnacle Pizza Hut when they had all the Pizza Hut shaped restaurants, the ones that were with the bar?
90s?
When they had the buffet, the lunch buffet, and they had and when we were kids we had Book It. So if we read 5 books, we get a free personal pan pizza.
Oh, that was good.
And now no kids read.
Yeah, everything's ruined now. The whole world is upside down. All right, we want to hear your thoughts, and we're going to talk about Hurricane Helene, the latest info, and what is going on with rapid intensification. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Today on the Jim Colbert Show, celebrity guest host Bob Fryer will join Deb and myself for hurricane coverage this afternoon. We'll keep you up to date on what's happening with Hurricane Helene, checking in with our Fox 35 meteorologists, plus Date Night Done Right with Danny Meyering, Colbert Court with Glenn Klausman, plus your chances to win tickets to Halloween Horror Nights. All that and your calls, texts, and talkbacks.
The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
And
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson, and today is a Fox 35 Storm Alert Day. We're going to be expecting impacts from Hurricane Helene, even though the storm itself is going to be making landfall hundreds of miles away. We can expect tropical storm force wind gusts and upwards of 50 to maybe even 60 miles per hour, the risk of tornadoes, heavy rainfall. All of these things could also lead to scattered power outages, as we had especially throughout the afternoon and evening hours. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer.
John Legend here. How do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Ask your healthcare provider and book at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Folks, with this hurricane right on the horizon here, Hurricane Helene could do a lot in terms of flooding damage. And if your AC gets swamped and something goes south, you need to know who to turn to. Well, don't worry about that today with all the other stuff you have on your plate. Just remember, if you have any AC issues, Mills Air is there to help you. They've been in business since 1992. That's over 30 years. They've been through plenty of storms like this, and they know how to get you back up and running. They're a Carrier Factory authorized dealer over at Mills Air, and they can get you access to rebates up to $1,275 in rebates for a brand new Carrier unit if things go all the way south. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you can always turn to Mills Air. Preventative maintenance will keep you ahead of all this, by the way. That can give you or save you money and detect an upcoming breakdown. Call them at 407-277-1159 for preventative maintenance from Mills Air. 407-277-1159, or find them online at millsair.com.
Hi, my name's Tim Forehand. I'm a deputy sheriff. In my job, keeping in shape is important. I've tried other products to get my weight down, but nothing has worked like Android 400. In just 3 months, I've dropped 51 pounds, down from 230 to 179. Plus, the weight's come off in the stomach area. I've gone from a snug 36-inch waist to a 32-inch waist, which I was in high school. I highly recommend the Android 400 to all my friends.
Guys, are you frustrated because no matter how hard you try, it seems impossible to lose stubborn belly fat? Then discover why thousands of men each month rely on Andro 400. Lose belly fat, gain energy and confidence, and feel great about yourself. Andro 400, the safe, effective, and inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help that often requires only simple maintenance. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello from A1 Garage Door Service. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. We fix garage doors fast and with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Replacing the bottom rubber on your garage door can have a huge impact on the number of bugs you see in your garage and in your home. Call A1 Garage today and receive the best service, best parts, and best warranty in the industry.
A1 from day one.
This is trial attorney Jeff Kaufman for the injury law firm of Kaufman & Lind. When looking for an attorney, I would choose experience. Do they care? Will they pick up your phones? I'd avoid the guy who sounds like this when he picks up.
I'd do anything for you. I got plastic wrap, I got a shovel in my trunk, and I got a boat at the marina. Thanks to this mofo.
If you want to hire a law firm who's willing to work this hard just to do a commercial, contact us at whenyouneedus.com or dial 407-500-JEFF. That's 407-500-5333. Offices, Orlando.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks VapoStick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks VapoStick. Soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors. Use as directed. VapoStick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max used for adults only.
Unlock your business's potential with Adecco and discover top talent quickly and effortlessly. Visit Adecco.com to find the perfect candidates for your business. When you think jobs, think Adecco. That's ADECCO.com.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Storm
Coverage on Real Radio is brought to you by Renewal by Anderson, proudly serving the state of Florida for over 20 years. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com.
Filling you in on the shocking details. Just try not to pass out. This is the...
Be safe today, tomorrow, well, always. Just driving out there in this mad, mad world of ours. We love you and we appreciate you. I want to ask you a question today. And this question is, what is the weirdest thing that you eat, that you go nuts for, and that some of your friends might be like, what is wrong with you, you monster?
Man. I know that as far as the weirdest thing that I drink, that people...
Is this alcohol related or not?
Well, a lot of people think the Bloody Mary thing is just gross and weird, and that's fine. I get it.
Oh, I thought that was popular.
It's for some people, for the people that like them, they're like all in, you know, or some people they're like, it's a thing I only drink on planes, which there are studies on why, because of the saltiness, blah blah blah.
Right.
But there are a lot of people who, my friend, anytime I made one, would have a very, very vile way of describing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, so it you know, there's people who just think it's disgusting. And I'm like, all right, fine. I don't know about eating, though. There's things that I think are normal that people grow up on that at some point they change, and they're like, why do you, bologna? Why do you eat bologna? Bologna. And I'm like, because bologna's delicious, guys.
People are weird about this stuff. If you grow up eating something, it is normalized. To me, eggs and Spam was a totally normal thing. It still is to this day. Love it, dig it, I'm on it. But for some people, they're like, what? You're actually eating that? Ew.
So I would say, gosh, we had a go-to of like eggs definitely was involved just about everything. Eggs and rice.
Mm-hmm.
You had your spaghetti, butter Parmesan. I would say a weird thing was cream cheese rolled up in ham.
Yep, I've had this before. Yeah.
Yeah, we grew up, in a particular financial situation, we'll call it.
Right. And there's also...
But it was delicious.
Sometimes you'll have Vienna sausages, and then if you have guests over and you're mowing down a Vienna sausage, they'll be, what's
but if you
wrong
put
with you?
toothpicks in it and put it on a porcelain plate, then it's fancy.
You have brought it up a step. I bring all of this up because there's this place in New York that people are going nuts for. People are lining up around the block, and it's giving me
Ground
flashbacks.
Zero.
It's not Ground Zero. It's giving me flashbacks of the chicken sandwich wars of yesteryear.
Oh, yeah.
And this place is a little different, though. It's a takeout sandwich shop that sells chicken sandwiches, and it's run by a 2 Michelin star chef who's going a little hog wild. And I don't know how I feel about this, but it's a place called Bird Box. Here's why their chicken sandwich is a little bit different.
Isn't that a Sandra Bullock movie?
It was, yeah. Look at this chicken sandwich that they're selling. It's
Yeah, that's a no for me, man. Are you supposed to chew on that?
Could you imagine?
No.
Eating this thing in public? There's a giant leg hanging out of it, everybody. I'll put this up on See It Now.
Also,
over
the
on
idea
Junkie.
that they had a photo shoot with this, because that is a professional photography shot right there.
I mean, who knows if that's not the restaurant that's serving that, or if that's the blog that's going to write about how much of a just absolute
disgusting
crime to the food world that this would be.
This is it. Look up Claude the Claw. That's the name of the sandwich, I guess. CLAUDE the Claw. And it's by this place called Bird Box, a little hidden sandwich shop that's blowing up in New York. And it has an entire chicken quarter, a thigh and a drumstick in it, and there's a foot hanging out of the chicken sandwich. And I just imagine somebody walking down the street mowing on this, complaining about the Haitian immigrants eating cats and dogs in Springfield.
The Fox News article on this has a different side of it where they actually hold it up by the claw without the bun, and you see the chicken around it. And I am not totally sure on this. Is there bones in the claw, like the leg? There's got to be some bones or at least really hard cartilage.
Cartilage was going to be the thing. Because people do eat that.
They eat chicken feet. There was that 90 Day Fiancé episode where the one family served the other family chicken feet, and they were so offended.
How could you do that to it? All right, sure. People eat chicken feet. No doubt about that. But have you ever seen people eating a chicken sandwich with just a whole ass leg hanging out of the side of this thing?
I'll tell you this. If you could guarantee to me that the bun wouldn't fall off if I held it by that claw, that would be a good little handle for your sandwich.
Oh, absolutely.
I would find that delightful, like a new way to eat a sandwich without doing the two-hand thing. You just one-hand that guy.
But then what do you do with the claw? Like just gnaw on it afterwards? The one thing
you pick
that
your
I'll
teeth
say,
out. You pick the little stuff out of your teeth with the nails.
So gross. If I had to eat that though, I would rather it be in between two buns and with some condiments, so that can drown out the fact that I'm eating a chicken foot.
The picture. Look up the Fox News article on this, Sean, because the picture that before you play the video, the picture that just sits there, the chicken part of the sandwich looks good. I mean, it's nice and breaded. It looks like
see what you're talking about
some
right now.
sauce on it. This is what I was talking about. Yeah. That looks tasty.
That's interesting. I'm down with it, but I don't want a foot connected to my sandwich. It's a big, hard no for me. I think I find that weird for some reason. But maybe you don't.
Because it reminds you that this thing used to have a hand. This thing used to walk around. I think people don't like reminders while they're eating their food of the way that it used to be when it was alive. Much like if you get a chicken with feathers in it.
I don't think you would do this with any other animal. Like, I'm not sure that there would be any kind of pork dish.
Hello.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have it hanging out of a pork sandwich. You wouldn't.
That has to be for just like the shock of it all, right?
Yeah, maybe, but it's working. It's very popular. Very, very popular. It's up on See It Now, so go over to thenewsjunkie.com, and you'll see the visual that we're reacting to here. Let's knock down that wall so we can share the visual component of this with you, rather. So go to thenewsjunkie.com, hit on See It Now, and you'll see what we're talking about.
Hey, what's up? See It Now. Come here often?
Would you try that out? Would you give that a shot is the question to everybody. Let us know.
Would you? I'm going to order it on Uber Eats. Maybe after the weather, but would you guys do it?
That?
Yeah, well, like the three of us at the same time.
We couldn't order it. It's in New York City. It's at one
take
particular
a couple days,
place.
but we can make it happen.
We're going to have to fly this son of a bitch out over here.
Get Goldbelly on the case. That
would be cool.
Perfect for them.
That would be cool. I don't know if I could bring myself to eat this. I'm a weird person with eating. And I eat, for instance, the same lunch every single day. Every single day. Now, I have different other meals all the time. But after the show, when I'm done and I don't eat my first meal until after this show. And after the show, every single day, I have sticky rice and 2 skewers of chicken that I take off and put on top of the sticky rice.
Okay, that's new, dude. You were having a turkey sandwich every day.
I have been doing this for the last 3 months, every single day, never miss a day. And I'm in love with it. It's the greatest, easy, clean lunch ever. I dig it. But I don't know if I'm going to eat a chicken sandwich with a chicken leg hanging out of it. That's a little weird. We want your thoughts, though. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send us your first dispatch right now. We are looking at Hurricane Helene inching closer to Florida's coast with maximum sustained winds coming up around 85, 90 miles an hour. It's going to be more than that when it makes landfall, about 130 plus. Could be Cat 4, could be Cat 5, maybe, question mark. Because there's something going on right now called rapid intensification.
Whoa.
All right. Rapid intensification. We'll talk more about that when we return and give you a full update on what's happening with Hurricane Helene. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Election day is getting close, but the deadline to register to vote is even closer. Details at realradio.fm/vote 2024. Make your voice heard.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Shop the best quality jewelry and lowest price. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
The outer rain bands of the hurricane will be hitting the area, so just travel with caution on the major roadways and bridges, and just keep in mind there could be flooding in your local area. As of right now, authorities are clearing up an accident causing congestion on I-95 northbound before U.S. Highway 1. Traffic is backed up from State Road 40. Travel with caution on there. The roadways are wet out there. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Holiday hosting starts at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances, plus save an additional $75 on select cooking appliances, $899 or more. Valid through 10/16 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Appliance savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for details.
Do you already have a mortgage and you're wondering if it's any good? A recent study showed that less than 20% of people compare the first mortgage quote they get. So don't be a slacker. Get peace of mind today by going to thatmortgageguydon.com. Don can help because it's so easy to compare your quote with him. Just go to the website, hit the button that says compare, upload your quote, and that mortgage guy Don will tell you if it's any good. And if it's not, he's going to make sure to find you the best deal. Compare your quote today and work with an expert and a friend that you could trust by going to thatmortgageguydon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguydon.com.
For more information about contests on this station, go to realradio.fm/rules.
Moments like my daughter telling me a new joke mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
I'm Ultima Morgan. Every year, almost 30,000 babies in America are born with birth injuries. It's every parent's worst nightmare. If your child suffered a birth injury, please call our firm to find out if we can help.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Connection, opportunity, possibility. It's what we all want. Spectrum has built a world where anything is possible, with products and services designed to work better together for a seamless connectivity experience. A connection to family and friends, a connection to education, and a connection to new opportunities. So there's no limit to how big we can dream. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
How long have you been thinking about going solar? With power bills soaring higher and higher than ever, it's time to think about what you can save instead of what you're spending. Each year you wait, you could be losing thousands. This year alone, prices have jumped over 10%. Isn't it time you own your own power or solar source? With over 40 years in business, Solar Source has over 60,000 installations right here in Central Florida. They've had the same phone number since 1984. It's no wonder this company is the one I trust. I started with a pool heater solar, and now I'm thrilled that Solar Source has a pay-as-you-go system. I can save monthly, and it starts at $99. That's solarsource.com/monsters.
Downtown Orlando's Dr. Phillips Center presents the Second City 65th Anniversary Show. Join us September 27th through the 29th in the Alexis and Jim Pugh Theater for 3 evenings of comedy, featuring your favorite songs, sketches, and characters written for their stages over the years. See for yourself why the Second City continues to be one of the world's most influential names in comedy as an all-star ensemble brings their iconic material to life. Get tickets now at drphillipscenter.org. This program made possible through the generous support of Kathy and Bill Hones.
Moments like my daughter telling me a new joke mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Every morning brings new opportunities. That's why I love McDonald's new limited time breakfast deal. For just $5, I can mix and match 2 of my favorite breakfast sandwiches to make all new flavor combinations. Today, I'm starting my morning with a sausage McMuffin with egg and an egg McMuffin for just $5. Tomorrow, I may mix it up with 2 Egg McMuffins. So, it's a new day, but the same great 2 for $5 deal. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price.
What's better than air conditioning? A portable air conditioner you can take anywhere.
Enter McDonald's. Their drinks always cool me down, so I call them Air Cup-ditioners. Air Cup-ditioners come in all my favorites, like Classic Coke, Southern Style Sweet Tea, Frozen Fanta Blue Raspberry, and, of course, iced coffee. And they're incredibly cost-effective. Any size is just $1.59 all day.
Air drinks. And there are drinks from McDonald's.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Coca-Cola and Fanta are registered trademarks of the Coca-Cola Company.
Wawa handcrafted beverages are just $3 or $4. Gotta have a Wawa.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Find out at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. They're best friends, unless they're fighting. Are they fighting? It's the new...
The big sucker, too. We'll talk about all the latest you need to know in just a moment here. And don't forget, you can dispatch us. Join the show with your comments at thenewsjunkie.com right now. Okay, Hurricane Helene. Where is this sucker? What's going to happen? What can we expect? It's a big mamma jamma of a hurricane.
It is pretty calm before the storm over here.
Is it?
It's very interesting.
Out there?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's going to be wet. It's going to be windy. It's going to be like that for everybody in Florida. The visuals that I'm seeing of this thing on radar are astonishing. Look at the size and strength of this storm as it's getting close to Florida. Already in South Florida, seeing impact from Hurricane Helene.
See, this is why I need the graphics, because when I look at the actual like satellite image of how this is going, it just looks like we are screwed.
The end is
Can't
nigh.
even see Florida.
Yeah, it's spinning out in the Gulf of Mexico. It's supposed to make landfall late Thursday night around the Panhandle. But who knows? These things can still wobble. It could go anywhere at this moment. That's why you should stick with us, and we'll let you know if there's any updates throughout the day that have the track shifting anywhere. But it is large. It is fairly powerful. It is now at about 100 miles per hour with the maximum sustained winds, but it's going to be a much stronger storm than that. Category 3, Helene, is what they're anticipating when this thing makes landfall. That is a dangerous storm, obviously. I hate to say some of these really simplistic things, but you know how people are, right? Category 3 storm is a strong storm. That's going to do a lot of damage to buildings. That's going to bring a lot of rain to you. It does look like this thing is kind of cooking speed-wise.
Yeah.
14 miles per hour is pretty fast. So hopefully it dumps the rain it's going to dump on us, and then it hauls ass out into the southeastern United States, then up through the Midwest and a little bit off to the Northeast. So, you know, even folks up in the Northeast, you're not out of the window of pain for this sucker just yet. But it's strengthening. It's expected to make landfall in the Florida Big Bend, that's what they call it, along the Panhandle there, as a major hurricane. And it's a strong storm. It's big when you look at it on the radar.
So
and
you talked about like saying things like, "Oh, this is a pretty dangerous storm," like saying things that you think shouldn't need to be said. And I feel that way a lot of times when I watch the updates from the governor. Like a lot of the stuff they put in there is very important, but it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I've been in Florida my whole life, and you just kind of know these things. Like you don't run your generator inside.
Yeah, we still get a story or two
every time. That's why we have to say these things.
I don't know. The other thing is, with you guys, it may have been different, but with me growing up, my parents believed in all sort of hocus pocus myths about what you were supposed to do for hurricane.
Draining your pool.
They would fill the bathtubs up with water. They did it every year. Every time there was a hurricane, they filled the bathtub up with water.
Were you on well water?
We were on well water. So
that's why.
Gross bathtub full of water.
No. You were on well water, so they filled
to flush the toilets, right?
To do anything that requires water, because people on city water, they just open their faucet and water comes out, unless they're installing fiber in your neighborhood and they cut the line. Yeah. Now, the people who have well water, if they lose power, they can't power a what do you call a pump? The pump to power to get the water out of the well doesn't have any power, so that's why they fill the bathtub.
Right. But you don't have to do that anymore. You could go get a 5-gallon jug of water or something and put it somewhere in the garage, and then when you have this once in a 5-year span thing happen to you, you could go get it. We had it. The water was so gross too.
Of course it was. Well water's disgusting.
I've been to some people's houses where they had a nice well and they had everything really well taken care of. It didn't stink. But then there was my house growing up, where the side of the house was yellow from the sprinklers hitting it and all the stuff in the water.
I've told you guys before, man, the smell of the well water for me when I would go to, second mention, my dad's cousin's house. And spend the night there.
You can pay for this, man?
I don't think you could pay him anymore. He's not with us.
Oh,
but
damn, dead bucks.
We would go over there. Jeez,
Sean's diving into those.
It's like a discount coffee place.
Oh God!
So we would go over there, and I would spend the night there, and it would be time for me to take a bath, and I've said this before, I always felt like I wasn't getting clean because the water was dirty water compared to my glorious city water.
You probably weren't. I remember kids telling stories when we got older, and they go, remember when you used to be younger and you drink water right out of the hose? And I'd say, no.
Absolutely.
I didn't. Because my hose that I was holding out in front of my face smelled like rotten eggs. I wasn't drinking the water from this thing.
True.
It was disgusting. I was never drinking out of that hose. Anyhow, we had all kinds of things growing up that we thought we were supposed to do. My dad, I'm pretty sure this is a myth, C-Lane. All right, tell me if I'm wrong on this one. You know what my dad would do before every hurricane hit? True story, all right? My dad would go, Sean, you're a man now. I wasn't a man. I was like 10. And he said, it's time to help me prepare for the storm. One of these was maybe Hurricane Andrew, but I was pretty small for that, I think. But any other hurricane that was going to rip through the state, he'd go, all right, it's time to go outside and get ready. And don't think for a second that my dad ponied up the money to get storm, what's it called? The shields shutters? You put over the window, the shutters. We didn't have the shutters on our house.
Wait. His "You're a Man" offering to you was to let you tape up the windows?
Taping up the windows. He goes, you're a man now. He goes, we need a big X on every window. You put the tape and a shape and an X on the window, Sean.
We did that at my house, too.
He said that'll keep us safe. And I said, hold on, this is packaging tape. It's not even the strongest tape we have inside the household
Some Scotch
right
tape
now.
will hold it together. Absolutely.
How is this going to work? Dad, the news is saying it's got 140-mile-an-hour winds. How is this going to keep our... No, don't trust me, Sean. Trust me, I know this keeps them together.
Did your windows ever shatter?
No, but I don't think the tape saved us. I don't think that was it.
I think the point of that came from at least a good meaning place. Whereas if you taped up the windows, then if something hit them and they broke, it would try to keep a big shard of glass from being a danger to you. And these days, probably the newer windows that you have would just... Do they even crack like that, or do they?
I don't think they do. I don't think they break in major shards. I think they crack like a windshield, where it all kind of stays together. But the tape that we were using, duct tape, maybe would do something.
But then you have to scrape the duct tape, like the gunk off. That you don't want that.
Yeah, it's terrible. A lot of these things you would do in prepping, and then you wouldn't do the simplest, most obvious things. And every one of you should do this today. When you go home, go outside your house and look at anything that could be a projectile. That is worth your time. Pick up anything out there. A palm frond in your yard. You got a big giant stick out there. You got some sort of thing that you have in your landscaping that could be picked up and tossed at a window. All worth your time to take a moment and get that stuff out of the way for sure. But this storm is coming whether we like it or not. Helene on the way. Cat 3, maybe. Cat 4, maybe higher than that. We're just
Cat
not sure
12.
yet. Cat 56 with the rapid intensification. It could happen.
Jaguar at that point.
What you need for rapid intensification, for the record, is very warm sea temperatures. We got that.
I thought it was doing the alphabet.
No. Very warm. Hold on. Can you look up? Is this possible? Can you look sea temps in the Gulf of Mexico right now? Is that a thing that we can Google and see?
If it's on my radar.
Because if it's over 86 degrees, we're effed. All of us are done for. If we
I'm
look,
sure it is.
Probably is, but they say very warm sea temperatures.
No temperature.
If they're over 86 degrees, we get rapid intensification.
Whoever's listening that's close to it, just would you mind?
Dunk a finger in?
No, thermometer. That should work, right?
Oh, okay. A low wind
finger,
shear,
I guess.
which means winds don't change speed or direction quickly with height in the atmosphere, and plenty of humid air around. If you have this, you can speed things up quickly. For instance, Hurricane Michael was a Cat 3 with 115-mile-an-hour winds. It took it a matter of hours to spin from a Cat 3 to a Cat 5 with not 115-mile-per-hour winds, but 150-mile-per-hour winds. That is a destructive hurricane.
Did you say 86 degrees?
86 degrees or higher is what they consider very warm.
I don't know how much you can trust seatemperature.info. And if these are like current temps based on actual like thermometers providing data, or if these were forecasts.
Mm-hmm.
But we have Corpus Christi 85 degrees, Galveston 84.9, Havana 86. That's behind the storm by now. Key West 85.5, Naples 88, Pensacola 84.6, Tampa 85.6, Tampico 86.5, Veracruz 86.9.
I got a government website that's saying the same thing. I just sent you the link.
Okay, so
like Willy, Florida.
All right.
Did you know that was a place?
I did not.
Silly Willy, Florida?
Willy, Florida.
Oh, Willy.
I'm looking it up now. This is from NOAA, so this is like a legit source, unlike Sealane's sea temperatures.
How's his arc these days?
Whatever he had. Hang on, why is this loading so slow? Maybe this getting slammed with people scared by the hurricane. The other thing worth mentioning is there are 67 counties in the state of Florida. 64 of them are under a hurricane warning right now. So
which are the ones that are not?
I don't even, it doesn't list them here. It just says of the 67 counties, only 3 are not under a warning. Yeah, here's the thing Sabrina sent me. Yeah, it's hot out there in those waters. And some of them, not a lot of them, but some of them are over 85 and 86 degrees, which is warm waters that'll strengthen this storm pretty quickly. So let us know what you're doing if you're worried at all, et cetera, for Hurricane Helene, which is on the way, of course. We're going to get to your dispatches. You can send yours in. Just go to thenewsjunkie.com. On the website, you will be able to figure out how to record a quick dispatch and send it our way on your phone. Here is my therapist with a dispatch for us.
Hello.
Hey.
Podcast listener. Just catching up on the podcast from the last couple days.
Thank you.
Wanted to chime in on hair removal versus tattoo removal. And hair removal is a cakewalk compared to tattoo removal. I've had them both. The hair removal is just like the light snap of a rubber band, if anything. Tattoo removal is like you are being tortured by someone you paid to do this.
True.
Sean, as you now know, it is the worst pain that I have ever felt in my life so far.
Sizzling bacon,
and I hope I never have to feel anything worse. And yet I still go to have more tattoos removed. So maybe I should have listened to my mom. Don't get them.
Not bad advice, my therapist. Yeah, it was bad. Like I said, 8 out of 10. And I'm not a person who's super concerned with pain. I don't go like, oh no, I'm very sensitive to this. I could get a tattoo and it's nothing. I said a tattoo is a 4. Maybe more. A tattoo on certain spots of your body could be like a 5 or so. On your wrist is killer. Underneath your arm, like in your armpit area.
Ribs, collarbone, come on.
Ribs, your neck where it connects to like your back.
sensitive area, all those places, like 5, 6. The tattoo removal gun was 8. A solid 8, just blasting you.
That's layers of skin they got to go through.
Yeah, it's up high. It's powerful because it's got to blast through that ink, but then if it was any hotter or any more powerful, it would actually do some damage to the outer skin, too. I'm sure it does some. Let's see. Here is Peisenberg joining us.
Yoski Chodes, checking in quickly on the weird food subject. I just had to chime in because it's so controversial that every time I make one, and it's not super often, a few times a year maybe, whenever I get a hankering, I guess you could say, for one, I post it. I take a picture and I post it on Facebook just to see people go ape-s. And they usually works, but it's a peanut butter, banana, and mayonnaise sandwich. I believe they call it like an Elvis sandwich. I know it's kind of more of a Southern thing. I learned it from my mom.
I thought Elvis was fluff on the sandwich.
No,
peanut butter.
I thought Elvis was just peanut butter and banana. I've never tried that with mayo. It seems greasy. It doesn't seem like the right place for mayo, but. Yeah, I've been surprised by mayo things before, but peanut butter, banana, and fluff is damn good too.
Yeah, I'm not very experienced with that, but if he's saying it's good, he must enjoy it. He must like this. Peisenberg, he might be onto something. I'm not going to try it, but maybe you're onto something. Here's Rux joining us.
Hey, junkies, what's going on? So about the situation with the stores, so I assume that the businesses are taking away registers or employees at the register to push everybody to self-checkout so that way they can save money. However, when you have that many people going to self-checkout, then you're losing a lot of product because a lot of people at that point are then stealing from the stores.
Yep, exactly.
So my question, I guess, is, does it really make sense, or are you really even saving money at that point? I don't know. Tell me what you think. All right, peace.
I think you still are, unless you're in a particularly bad store where it gets robbed more than any other place. They are, without a doubt, every place that institutes self-checkout, they are having more stuff that is stolen from them. But an employee, even just a regular full-time employee, they don't cost you just what the salary is. There's salary, there's taxes, there's insurance, there's... A regular employee at like a Target probably costs the company $80,000, $70,000, somewhere around there a year. So that's pretty expensive. But you're right. If you're leaking $70,000 a month from stuff that's getting stolen, it must be they're working out the math. I'm sure they're working out the math right now because having a human body there is a better shopping experience. I personally don't like the dystopian style that all these stores are going to. Everything's locked up. There's so few employees. A Target is a big place, friends. A Target is a big, large place. And the Target that I went to this past week, I am not lying. I think there might have been 8 people total working there in the whole place. It's huge. It's just like a ghost town as far as employees go. All right, we are going to play one more real quick. Here is Booty Sweat joining us.
Hey, junkies. One of the reasons I stopped shopping at Walmart is because of their insistence of locking a bunch of things up, especially in the cosmetics aisle and section. I understand the willingness to want to protect the women's makeup stuff because it is expensive. It's very easy to steal. I get it. But when you're also locking up cans of Barbasol and cheap razors.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
That's where you lose me. I know a lot of those stores have made a full-on section where you have to pay for those things before you can even leave the cosmetics area. And these are in just normal neighborhoods. And by all means, I have never seen that type of Fort Knox behavior from a Publix. So that's why I would much rather shop there.
Yeah. I mean, what you could do here, I think, to fix this is simple things, and it would involve more employees, but I think it would be cheaper in the long run. Whenever there's a store with some sort of armed security, like an officer at the front of the store, just kind of greeting people, being nice, but letting you know that there's a presence there near the self-checkout, near the front of the store, not trying to intimidate, but just a show of force there, I think can keep people in line because some of you are animals. Some of you are antisocial animals who go into these places and you have no rules or morals that you live by. You have zero impulse control. And I think it keeps that in check at least a little bit. You know, there's not enough people who are fully in the know on why we have some of the problems we have. And impulse control is the biggest thing. Ask any judge out there. Ask any judge that you encounter who regularly sentences people to crimes what the problem is. And he'll say people have antisocial personality disorder and impulse control issues. And they just go, and they rage and they just get mad. And they cause a lot of the troubles that we see in society. So I think having an armed guard there can help, and having a few additional employees to show that there are people that exist in this store would be better than just firing everybody, going as low budget as possible, and saying, we're going to lose some stuff to theft, and we're fine with that. What do you think? Let us know. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send us a dispatch right now. We got the next episode on the way. Also, more on Hurricane Helene. There is some pretty stunning numbers when it comes to this storm that we need to talk about, and that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is
The Monsters in the Morning.
Russ, if Ryan gets a speedboat, the next day's headline is going to be this: Captain Corn Carney causes carnage at Causeway.
Ah, damn, he did it.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
Travel with caution on the major roadways and bridges this afternoon. Expect tropical storm conditions all throughout the area. The outer rain bands of the hurricane will be grazing the area, and some of the local roadways might be affected due to flooding. As of right now, authorities are clearing up an accident on I-95 northbound before U.S. Highway 1. Expect delays and just travel with caution. The roadways are wet out there. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer.
John Legend here. How do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Ask your healthcare provider and book at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
iHeartRadio brings you Global Citizen Festival 2024 from New York City at Central Park's Great Lawn. Live performances from Post Malone, Doja Cat, Jelly Roll, Benson Boone, and more. Join the movement to end extreme poverty now, one action at a time, at globalcitizenfestival.com. Hear the entire festival live on the iHeartRadio app all day this Saturday, and the best of the best moments on the free iHeartRadio app's Hit Nation station, Saturday night at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific.
For 36 years, I've dedicated my life to law enforcement. With time, I've gained invaluable experience, and with that experience, a strong desire to evolve. I've worked to transform our Sheriff's Department, ensuring we have the latest technology to protect our community and maintain our commitment to our youth. Being a proven leader means embracing change, because with growth and innovation, we can achieve remarkable results and build a safer community for everyone. Paid by Mike Chitwood, Independent for Sheriff.
Score your next used car during the Winning Drive sales event at Sutherland Nissan Orlando. Used car prices start at $89.88, and credit problems are no problem. Sutherland Nissan Orlando, OrlandoNissan.com. Home with a lifetime warranty.
VIN number 5Y104975 plus taxes and fees with approved credit.
We've all made questionable decisions in life, like that time that you frosted the tips of your hair. But hiring an attorney shouldn't be. I'm Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt, and we offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee on all injury cases. If you are not completely satisfied with the way we treat you in your case within the first 30 days, you can take your file back and you owe us nothing. No fees, no costs, and no questions asked. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit justcallmo.com.
Columbus Day weekend, visit Cocoa Beach on the Space Coast and support the National Kidney Foundation's 39th Annual Surf Fest, featuring hundreds of competitive surfers in pro and amateur divisions, live entertainment, and fun for the entire family. For more information, visit nkfsurf.com.
Sunnyside Air Conditioning.
Oh, hi. My air conditioner is blowing hot.
For air conditioners making a funny noise, press 1.
No, it's...
Try to listen to the whole message before making a selection.
Sorry.
For air conditioners blowing cold, but not quite cold enough, press 2.
No, it's blowing hot.
I haven't gotten to that one yet.
Well, can we speed this up?
Don't get grumpy with me, or I'll take you back to the main menu.
No, anything but that. Please don't send me back to the main menu.
Fine, but I'm watching you.
Bet if I'd called Frank Gay, I'd already be getting my problem solved.
But you didn't call Frank Gay. So, what do we do now?
I'm calling Frank Gay.
When your air conditioner is blowing hot, you need a solution now. A helpful operator to guide you, all your options explained, and your problem fixed fast. That's the Frank Gay way.
If you're ready to pull your hair out, press 7.
FrankGayServices.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 40-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term life insurance may only cost you about $100 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-239-1749. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-239-1749. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. For affordable term life insurance, call 800-239-1749. 800-239-1749 or biglou.com.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick. Soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors. Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults only.
I'm Carrie Champion, and this is Season 4 of Naked Sports. Up first, I explore the making of a rivalry. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese.
Every great player needs a foil.
People are talking about women's basketball just because of one single game. I just come here to play basketball every single day.
Clark and Reese have changed the way we consume women's sports. Listen to The Making of a Rivalry, Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search The Making of a Rivalry, Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, and start listening.
Score used cars from $89.88. It's a win at Sutherland Nissan Orlando.
Filling in the gaps between the New York Times and World Star. This is
TIPS at thenewsjunkie.com. The News Junkie, of course, with an IE on the end. If you want to be anonymous, just put that right up top on the email. I got some emails to get to as we roll on with the show today. First, a couple of other things. Join us at any time with a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com for that. And it's also a great place to learn all about the show. Everything you need to know, including the links to the podcast and details about secret shows, are there for you right on thenewsjunkie.com. This is a question that I want everybody to try to be fair on for just a second here, all right? I know this could be a little bit of a dicey area, and people start getting mad and yelling.
Dicey.
And anything that touches anything near politics, people freak out, all right? So don't do that. First, deep breath. Let's try to be reasonable here and work our way through.
Let me just get into lesbian libtard mode, please.
All right, engaged. Here we go. McDonald's. We got to talk about this. Recently, former President Trump said he is going to, and I hope he does this because I think it would be interesting. He's going to go to a McDonald's and he's going to work the fry machine or the fry station for 30 minutes. And you're going to go in there and learn what it's like to be an employee at a more menial, sorry, don't get butthurt, job like working the fry station at McDonald's. In talking about this, he brought up the other side of the political coin. Kamala Harris, she keeps citing that she did work as a fry cook at McDonald's. But when people started to pick around that, investigate, they couldn't find any evidence of her talking about this previously, really. She mentioned it a couple of times here or there. Then she stopped mentioning the McDonald's thing. Recently, she did an interview with MSNBC, and she talked again about having worked at a McDonald's and worked at the fry station, et cetera, et cetera. And again, there was this pressure. Can Kamala Harris prove that she worked at the fry station at McDonald's? So I started to think, and I said, My first job, as some of you may know, listening to this program over the years, was working at a Papa John's on Military Trail in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Better ingredients.
And Papa John's was like an upstart at that point. They weren't one of the bigger pizza places, but they had one there, and I worked at it, and I think I worked at that job. And this is, you might scoff at this, but this is better than most people. I think I might have worked there for 6 months. I was 16 or 15, so that's pretty good for an early job like that, working there for 6 months. So that was my first gig. Now, if I went out on the campaign trail and I said, folks, I know what it's like to be a regular person. I remember in the days when I was putting toppings on pizzas over at Papa John's. And those orders would come in, and I'd go over and put those anchovies on that pizza, no matter how mad I was at the person who ordered double anchovies for the third time that day. And if somebody said afterwards, you didn't work at a Papa John's, prove it. Could I prove it? That's what I started to think about. Could I prove? This was in the 90s or something. I didn't have
Did you
photographs.
save your first paycheck?
I didn't save my first paycheck. I didn't save my uniform. Is there legitimately a way we could answer that question and find out if that is true or not, that Kamala Harris worked in the McDonald's?
Are you
And it
able
was
to?
like when she was a student, too. So it's not like she was, I can't imagine there for a while, right?
Well,
Like,
but
was
is it a
manager
provable thing? Every place that you've worked at, if you weren't under the table, is it a provable thing? Is it like somewhere where we can confirm that I worked at this Papa John's that I'm saying I worked at when I don't have my uniform? I don't have any photos of me in the
You have
uniform.
no contact with those people, I imagine.
I don't know. I've talked about one of them who I worked with there, John
I'd be surprised
Allen, a
if
couple
any of those
times.
people work at Papa John's still.
And I would love to get John Allen on to confirm to you guys that I worked at Papa John's, because he was the only person there when I got in the fight with Noel Gallagher from Oasis. He could confirm both of those stories as being real.
Okay. Question. Is there a way to obtain your previous tax filings? Because if you worked at Papa John's for 6 months, you likely got a W-2.
I think so, yeah.
The thing is, you would have to have filed your taxes, but you would have gotten a refund, so you would have wanted to have filed your taxes.
I probably did. Yeah, I would think, yeah.
And they say you're supposed to keep your tax information for like 7 years or something, but that's obviously been a long time since then.
Decades.
But is there a way of, writing the IRS and saying, hey, I'd like copies of my previous returns? Would they even have that documentation? It seems like a lot of stuff to keep on hand. But if you were able to get some of your first tax filings and find the employee identification number on there and trace it to Papa John's, then that would be proof that you worked there.
But it is to know that system's even the same. Like, I'm thinking about my first job. One, I did not file my taxes then because I was 15 years old. And that was one of the only companies that at 15 I can get a job.
This ice cream place?
Yeah, Cold Stone Creamery.
Okay. Could you prove that you worked at Cold Stone Creamery right now, other than singing the songs that they sing when they go in there?
I don't even remember the songs, man. I think that, there's maybe one person I'm friends with on Facebook that I can think of their name that would be able to vouch for me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's a picture of me holding, the 2 scoops up.
Right.
But that's all I could really...
An
most of
employee
my
ID?
jobs in high school, I don't know how I would be able to prove it.
MFQ says if she paid taxes, it should be on the tax return report. That is probably
my
true.
parents'
But
taxes. I was dependent at that point.
You don't remember
I'm
the
wondering-
songs? You didn't sing...
Tip, tip, hooray, tip, tip, hooray. But that was the intro to the rest of the songs. And there was a booklet of.
Do you remember the I Kissed a Girl one?
I don't even think that was my time, man.
That was a
How
thing?
about Soulja Boy? Well, yeah, I mixed it in and I liked it. The taste of that cold scone ice cream.
We've done this before. This is the 5th time in our show's history.
Soulja Boy?
How did the Soulja Boy one go?
Cold Stone is the place to go. Watch us mix and watch us
You know,
roll.
I'm getting a bit of a flashback.
And
I
you
believe
put that dollar in, and you put that dollar in.
So it wasn't all parodies, though. There were some originals that, during the training process, we had to memorize.
Well, Dwayne on YouTube says, I have a pay stub for my first job in high school. Congrats to you. I think most
Dwayne's a
people do
hoarder.
not.
Got it.
I think most people do not. The IRS, though, must have information that would be able to confirm this. They're not going to be forthcoming with that. So you could probably just say you worked anywhere and then nobody could ever confirm it or deny it, especially if it was in the 70s or 80s. Who knows? I hadn't thought about that in a while. I was like, could I prove, if I needed to, that I worked at some of the places that I worked at? Let us know what you think, and if you know ways to do this, go over to thenewsjunkie.com and send us a dispatch right now. I'd love for them to both, on the same day, work at the same fast food place. Now, I have an idea. It's radical. I want to throw it out there, though. What would be good? We have a Checkers or a Rally's, depending on where you live in the country. They have the dual drive-through, right?
Barely. The dual drive-through of the Checkers near me is right side for normies and left side for Uber.
Yes, but let's say we redo this for the day. We reformat this. Left side, of course, will be Kamala. She's on the left side politically. So Kamala Harris will be on the left drive-through, and the right drive-through will be Trump. And we see who runs the place more effectively, who's doing better at their stand, who's doing better at the fry job or whatever else they're doing. This would be good. I would watch this. Maybe you wouldn't. Let us know. Yell at me if you'd like. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and send us your first dispatch right now. When we return, the next episode with Sabrina. What's coming up on the next episode?
What's coming up on the next episode? 50 Cent can be found in the club. The quick flip Diddy documentary just picked up by Netflix Club, that is. The most magical app on earth is now cracking down on the magic of password sharing. Woo boy. Plus, so no one told Rachel that she would be swatted on one. Yeah. All that and so much more coming up on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by MyEternalVitality.com and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James Miguel and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson, and today is a Fox 35 Storm Alert Day. As Hurricane Helene makes landfall later this evening, we're going to still be feeling the impacts here in Central Florida, despite landfall taking place across the Panhandle. So for us, we're going to be expecting tropical storm force wind gusts and upwards of 50 to 60 miles per hour, along with the risk of tornadoes and heavy rainfall as we head into tonight. That could lead to scattered power outages.
This report is sponsored by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Guys, it's time to deploy the secret weapon. What's that? It's Blue Chew. This stuff is absolutely amazing. And it's a unique online service. They deliver the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but it's chewable. It's a fraction of the cost. And wait until you hear the deal I'm going to hook you up with here. The thing about Blue Chew that's fantastic is it's an online prescription service, so you don't have to go to the doctor and have an awkward conversation. You don't have to wait in line at the pharmacy. It comes right to your door in a discreet package, and you're off to the races. This is something you should be using to take your B game and bring it up to an A game. And that is what you need to do today. There's a special deal for you right now. Try Blue Chew free when you use the promo code TNJ at checkout. You just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code, the letters TNJ, to receive your first month free. Check out Blue Chew now.
I never thought much about final expenses until my dad passed away last year. The costs were overwhelming, and it was a tough time for our family. That's when I decided to take control of my own final expense planning. But with my busy schedule, I needed something simple and quick. Then I found the Smart Bunny Insurance app. In just minutes, I secured a final expense insurance policy that fits my needs and budget. No lengthy paperwork, no hassle. Just peace of mind right at my fingertips. I'm relieved knowing my loved ones won't have to worry about the financial burden. If you're looking for an easy way to protect your family's future, I highly recommend the Smart Bunny Insurance app. It's fast, convenient, and the best part is you can get coverage up to $25,000 with policies starting as low as $14 per month. Download the Smart Bunny Insurance app today and take the first step towards your peace of mind.
Insurance sold by Smart Bunny Insurance Services, Inc. Underwritten by various insurers. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
Moments like my daughter telling me a new joke mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative NBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before. We now have more offices, more staff, and more lawyers than any other injury firm in the world. Protecting America, fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Have you ever heard of the 5 Ps? That's right, the 5 Ps. The 5 Ps can be applied to almost every area of your life, but it's especially true for you and your money. I'm Jeff Jr. with Trajan Wealth, and many years ago, when I was a young man in the Marine Corps, I learned about the 5 Ps. Proper planning prevents poor performance. Now, you can't control what's happening with the stock market, but you can control how you plan for it. Trajan Wealth and our fiduciary advisors have been helping our clients with the 5 Ps for years. We have hearts of teachers and will never complicate by using financial jargon. Our fee structure is transparent. The more you make, the more we make. The majority of our clients come from other financial advisors. Isn't it time for a second opinion to allow Trajan Wealth to help you with the 5 Ps too? Call Trajan today at 407-213-0000. 407-213-0000.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations, like the Beatles Now and Then.
Come together, you say goodbye. It's been a hard day's night.
Just search Beatles and listen now on your free iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Storm coverage on Real Radio brought to you by Renewal by Andersen, proudly serving the state of Florida for over 20 years. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com.
The most viral newsroom on the planet is still humming along.
Just a moment, all things happening in the world of entertainment and beyond. And we'll get to that here momentarily as we're watching the big storm out there. Join us today on the show with your thoughts, your opinions, whatever's on your mind. Do that by visiting thenewsjunkie.com. Some of the numbers I was talking about real quick. They said if Helene hits Tallahassee, Florida, it would be the first major hurricane, Helene would be, in over 100 years to hit Tallahassee, Florida. That's a long time. That's a real long time to go without having a major hurricane hit. So we got to keep our eyes on them. And
I heard the meteorologist, I think it was, saying yesterday on a Colbert show that because of that, there's a lot of old trees in Tallahassee that stand to perish
Damn,
from
that's
this.
right.
And it's much like what Central Florida experienced with Hurricane Charlie, I believe, which was there. It had been so long since there had been any tropical action in the area that a lot of the big trees ended up coming down.
Yeah, I guess, that's true. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, and you can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
This person was legitimately trying to eat my child and take their soul, and
nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina.
Hey.
Oh, what?
Smoke weed every day.
Hold up. The next episode brought to you by That Mortgage Guy Dawn. ThatMortgageGuyDawn.com. And, of course, the Home Loans Radio Show. Tune in every single weekend. Get your questions answered live on the air. Or if you want to get them answered right now, you have direct access to the man himself on the website, ThatMortgageGuyDawn.com. Refinancing, buying your first dream home, expanding your business, reverse mortgages, and everything in between. Work with the expert by going to ThatMortgageGuyDawn.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with ThatMortgageGuyDawn.com.
It was 34 years ago, 1990. We had the Motion Picture Association of America announcing on this day the debut of what?
Oh, man. Let's
Color.
see.
No. 1990.
Oh,
yeah, just right when color movies came along.
The rating system? PG-13.
Well done. You're very close. NC-17 on this day. It was to replace the naughty-sounding X rating, so congratulations on your anniversary of NC-17. And it was 90 years ago. Not on this day because there is no specific date. Sean, maybe you remember the exact date. 1934.
I was not alive.
When ratings did not exist, but boy, did Lucille Bogan exist.
Mm-hmm.
It was 90 years ago that she released Till the Cows Come Home.
Oh, okay. All right.
Are you familiar with this gal?
Yeah.
Because, you are?
It's a beautiful song. Yeah.
It was, she walked so everyone else could run.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a little tidbit for you.
They are tight like that.
Wait for
they
it.
Got a great big just like a baseball bat.
Oh, yeah.
Do it to me all night long.
She was born.
This must have rocked people's worlds.
It rocked my world when it popped up on my Discover Weekly playlist. I was like, this was a thing.
When Elvis came out, people were like, oh my God, Elvis is so salacious.
Don't film his hips.
Yeah, look what he's doing with his hips. And that is way more aggressive than any of Elvis's stuff.
I mean, she is one of the musical first recordings for a label in New York in 1923 with a pianist, Henry Collins, but really kind of the first when it comes to some filthy, humorous sexual references. Give yourself a little treat of reading the lyrics or listening to Till the Cows Come Home by Lucille Bogan on the 90th anniversary year of that song. And now we've got something new for everybody who's been sharing some passwords for Disney Plus, because you are going to get caught. And there's someone in this invisible room that all three of us are in that might be in that pool house.
Not me. Somebody
I'm not
that's
here
actually
to say let's not expose ourselves here. I'm just saying one out of the three of us, maybe two.
With Disney's in particular.
Maybe. Yes. Oopsie daisy. Disney Plus officially cracking down. If they catch you, they will force you to watch Cars 2.
Or planes.
They say that they are going to allow one extra member. It'll cost an additional $6.99 a month on Disney Plus Basic and $9.99 for Disney Plus Premium. And you can only add one member, one additional person. They're also raising their subscription prices next month. So I am going to try to get in as much Marvel as possible. I've been very much enjoying Agatha All Along, which I guess is part of the WandaVision series, which I also just watched.
I think it's technically a prequel, if I'm not mistaken.
Either way, I mean, I have some stuff that I needed to research, but I do like it. I didn't realize how evil she was until I watched WandaVision, which I
That's the one that they're
loved.
ramping up how gay it is, right?
Yeah, it's so gay. It's the gayest thing ever.
No, that's literally what they said.
Aubrey Plaza said it's going to be the gay awakening for Marvel, but I mean, we'll see.
right.
Thor was pretty gay, if you ask me. Any hoodles. Speaking of gay, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame coming up, guys. And they have just announced a list of special guests for next month's induction ceremony. We got Jelly Roll, Julia Roberts, Keith Urban, Dua Lipa, Demi Lovato, this guy right here,
Snoop Dogg,
and
Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre. There he is. And he's going to be peeped all up on the 2024 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame performances and special guests. Unclear who is presenting whom when it comes to the inductees and who is performing. They will also announce additional guests. By a show of hands, anyone actually watched the induction ceremonies ever?
I've never seen it one time.
I don't even know where they play it.
I watched a couple of them. I enjoy them.
I imagine you'll be watching this year because
I want to see
Dave Matthews Band.
I want to see how that plays out because there is a member of the band, that is being
Predator.
inducted that no longer tours with them and is kind of.
Is he in jail?
He's not in jail. He never got any criminal charges or anything with those allegations. That was a civil lawsuit, and I don't know how that was settled. But he's kind of like excommunicated from the band.
Well, that'll be an awkward reunion.
The awkward stuff is the stuff he posts on his like Twitter and Instagram.
Oh,
page.
he's still at it, huh?
Really?
Oh man,
Share some.
He looks like he's got problems. He posted.
Oh, now I hope he shows up.
Yeah, I kind of wonder. He posted like video. He'll post video, and some of the people that are fans were like, "When are you coming back to the band?" And some of the people are just trolling the s out of him. He posted videos like Boyd Tinsley playing the box, and it's just him beating on like a wooden plank.
Okay.
And there's absolutely no rhythm to it.
Did this box have consent at least?
Yeah.
Aaron on YouTube says, I'm enjoying Agatha all along so far.
I
Aaron,
love it.
are you a man or a woman? Because with the name Aaron, it could go either way. Because I was talking about this movie is not targeting me, or this show is not targeting me. Agatha all along is not going after me. But when I thought about this more, I said, are there any witch shows or movies, save for maybe The Blair Witch, that didn't seem to be targeting mostly women?
Is True Blood witches or vampires?
Vampires.
Vampires.
That's vampires,
Obviously
yeah.
by the name. Idiot.
They mostly target women with witch stuff. All this stuff. There's one. What's the really famous one with Bette Midler? The with the three witches or the older lady witches.
Oh my God!
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, and it just
famous movie.
left
Hocus
my brain.
Pocus.
Hocus Pocus.
Hocus
right.
Pocus. And if you go to any woman between the ages of like 25 and 55 and you talk to them about Hocus Pocus, they will all know it. And very few of the guys seem to know about this. I didn't even watch that at all growing up. It
The
just
Agatha
seems like
All Away, though, I think is definitely it's for Marvel fans. I think both
it's
men
not-
and women.
It's not for me at all.
I
And
just don't
it's-
think they're also like very tuned into the Marvel stuff.
I'm tuned into the Marvel stuff, and I like the Marvel stuff, but I'm not tuned into what's the other show that's attached to this? WandaVision? That was not for me.
WandaVision
at all.
I found fascinating.
Yeah,
I
it wasn't
just
for
watched
me.
it for the first time, and I absolutely loved it. Maybe this is something we're tuned into. This guy right here shared a real great story.
Kid Rock.
Yeah, he was recently with Tucker Carlson at some sort of stage show, and I sent you the video, Sean. You got it?
I got this. Yeah, I see Tucker Carlson on stage here.
And I want to get this out of the way, and maybe, Celine, you'll be driven just as crazy. The way that Kid Rock, after all these years of being a stage performer, the way he's holding the mic is driving me bonkers.
All right,
and
here we
any
go.
audio person.
If there's one thing I'd say about Trump that I don't think he gets credit for, I think he's one of the funniest people I've ever met in my entire life.
Hands down. I wonder if I should tell this story.
I think you should.
Oh, it's so good. I hate to speak out of school. You know what?
No, you're in school. We're in Michigan.
Just for the record, real quick.
Do not put your whole hand over the microphone because then no one can hear you.
That's bad. Also, I think the point is kind of bad. Trump gets crazy credit for being funny. People who are not super political know that Trump is funny.
Real
it's talked
quick,
about all the time.
Before you hit play again, is this censored? Because it's about to drop.
Yeah, no, I censored it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
All
you
right,
see,
here we go.
I didn't censor the words for the stream.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry.
It's fun. Well, the first times when the White House having dinner was Sarah Palin. We go in the Oval Office to meet him, and he's just wide open, like kid, like blah, blah, blah. It's like, anybody want to wash their hands? We're literally like sharing a bar of soap. And I'm like, man, this is weird. Weirdly awesome, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes, Rock, come here. We walked down to this other room, left to the Oval Office. He goes, you know what this room is? No, sir. He's like, this is the Monica Lewinsky room. Literally, I felt like I was his stepbrothers. I'm like, did we just become best friends? Like, I yelled down the hallway through the Oval Office. I'm like, Audrey, Sarah, Ted, come here. They come down to get in the room, and I'm like, you guys know what room this is? And they're like, no. And I'm like, sir? And he's like, it's the Monica Lewinsky room. I'm like, yes.
All right.
Yeah, there you go. The Monica Lewinsky room, brought to you by Kid Rock, who just absolutely loves to put his hand over the complete microphone.
Honestly, very unprofessional of him to hold a microphone like that.
It just drives me bonkers.
We had a moment like that, but I really can't repeat it.
What? Where we holding the microphone like that?
No,
Or we got a Monica Lewinsky moment?
Where we were in a room and somebody whispered to me.
I know what you're talking about.
I don't.
Well,
Share
it was
some more? Was I there?
I'll tell you during the break.
No problem.
Yeah, particular venue.
Buddy?
I can't.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I've run out of time. Jennifer Aniston got swatted, by the way. LAPD, the LAPD, are now investigating a growing prank, and that is targeting many in Hollywood or just like anybody who streams for a second.
What a hilarious prank.
So cool. 50 Cent documentary on Diddy has now been picked up by Netflix, and they're even going to add all of the recent stuff, so that should be very interesting. And finally, Ben Stiller just can't help himself with growing sports. It has been announced he's working on a pickleball movie.
Pickleball, come out play some pickleball. Pickleball, come out play some pickleball.
We got Shania Twain hosting the People's Choice Country Awards tonight. Also the series premiere of Dr. Odyssey on ABC, Hell's Kitchen, Crime Scene Kitchen, Grey's Anatomy Kitchen. All season premieres tonight, and you can catch Aubrey Plaza on Myers. Follow your dreams and me on Instagram at Sabrina Ambra, and most importantly, stay with me, America.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Sabrina. I was trying to find a way to tell you about that story without revealing what the C-Line could tell you right now. Talk back.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not like the Monica Lewinsky room.
It's news at the Today Show, believe it or not, and more of this Diddy stuff where everybody is going crazy. Anybody even remotely attached to that is going crazy. We'll talk about what's happening now. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Are you registered to vote in the November 5th general election? Not to be a nag. Or go to realradio.fm/vote 2024 for resources and make your voice heard.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Travel with caution on the major roadways and bridges this afternoon. You could expect tropical storm-like conditions due to the hurricane's outer bands grazing the area. Expect flooding, potential heavy rain, and just travel with caution. The roadways are already wet out there. There's also an accident on I-95 northbound near Old Dixie Highway. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Walt Disney World. Jobs.
Ready to be a part of the magic as a cast member at Walt Disney World Resort? We are hiring a variety of full-time and part-time roles with great benefits like theme park admission, exclusive discounts, and more. Apply today at waltdisneyworld.jobs.
Sunnyside Plumbing.
Yes, I've got a leaking...
To leave us a testimonial saying how happy you are with our service, press 1.
But you haven't even...
For all other inquiries, please hang up.
Wait, what?
Hang up and call Frank Gay. We're busy watching the game.
You know what? I think I will.
When you have a leak, you need solutions on your schedule. A helpful expert who can find the problem and fix it fast.
That's the Frank Gay way.
FrankGayServices.com.
This earful of Real Radio is sponsored by Sunset Walk Best of Challenge. Tickets on sale now at sunsetwalk.com.
Heads up, Orlando. Holiday wonders in the air. Dr. Phillips Center presents Cirque Mechanics Winter Wonder Shop, December 12th through 29th. A high-flying, must-see holiday Cirque spectacular. With incredible aerial stunts and mind-blowing machinery, it's all happening under the big top on Center Arts Plaza. Cirque Mechanics Winter Wonder Shop, supported by Chick-fil-A. December 12th through 29th. Get tickets now at drphillipscenter.org. Purchase early and save. Holidays at Dr. Phillips Center, supported by First Horizon Bank.
This is trial attorney Jeff Kaufman from the injury law firm of Kaufman & Lind. When people ask me what I do for a living, I don't even blink. I'm an accident attorney. For those who've never been in an accident, that carries a negative connotation. For those who have, they understand. They need an attorney to fight a billion-dollar insurance company, to make sure their bills are paid and that their future is protected. I'm very proud of what I do, and I take it very serious. If that works for you, contact me at whenyouneedus.com or dial 407-500-JEFF. That's 407-500-5333. Offices, Orlando.
If I need cash, is AmScot really open anytime?
Yep, anytime. 365 days a year. With AmScot cash advances from $50 to $1,000. Many branches open 24/7. AmScot. Some restrictions apply, subject to approval.
We all think about buying a house instead of renting, right? But did you ever realize you're renting your electricity every single month? Yep, overpaying the power company and watching prices rise every year. This year alone, prices have jumped over 10%. Isn't it time you own your own power with Solar Source? I started with my pool heater going solar, and now I'm thrilled with Solar Source's pay-as-you-go system, where I can save each month starting at only $99. Now, Solar Source isn't new to this game. They've been in business for nearly 40 years with the same phone number since 1984 and over 60,000 installations right here in Central Florida. They are the company I trust. Are you ready to stop renting your electricity? Switch to Solar Source today and start owning your own power. Switch to Solar Source today by going to solarsource.com/monster. Honestly, going Solar Source has been the best thing we've done all year. I absolutely love the company, and you save more money when you tell them you know Russ Rollins. That's solarsource.com/monsters.
Victim of a slip and fall? It takes one phone call to take back control of your life. Anajar and Levine will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call me, Mark Anajar, for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In Office, Orlando.
Florida's law enforcement officers know how to keep us safe. But Tallahassee politicians think they know better. That's why they're lying about Amendment 3. The truth? Amendment 3 will protect Floridians from marijuana laced with deadly drugs like fentanyl and provide billions in funding for police. Here's Gadsden County Sheriff Morris Young on Amendment 3.
I'm Sheriff Morris Young. Illicit marijuana laced with illegal drugs like fentanyl have destroyed lives. I know, because I've seen it firsthand. Amendment 3 will save lives by making marijuana safe, regulated, and lab tested. Amendment 3 will protect our community from dangerous illegal drugs while allowing law enforcement to focus on serious crimes. Vote yes on Amendment 3, the smarter and safer choice for Florida.
Paid political advertisement paid for by Smart and Safe Florida, 1400 Village Square Boulevard, Suite number 3, 321 Tallahassee, Florida, 32312.
Every morning brings new opportunities. That's why I love McDonald's new limited time breakfast deal. For just $5, I can mix and match 2 of my favorite breakfast sandwiches to make all new flavor combinations. Today, I'm starting my morning with a sausage McMuffin with egg and an egg McMuffin for just $5. Tomorrow, I may mix it up with 2 egg McMuffins. So, it's a new day, but the same great 2 for $5 deal. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price. What's better than air conditioning? A portable air conditioner you can take anywhere. Enter McDonald's. Their drinks always cool me down, so I call them Air Cupditioners. Air Cupditioners come in all my favorites, like Classic Coke, Southern Style Sweet Tea, Frozen Fanta Blue Raspberry, and, of course, iced coffee. And they're incredibly cost-effective. Any size is just $1.59 all day. Air drinks. And they're drinks from McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Coca-Cola and Fanta are registered trademarks of the Coca-Cola Company.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward. This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because your case matters. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. On the bright side, we're not dead yet. You're listening to the new.
Mayor of New York, and how dumb this man must be. He's in a world of trouble right now. And there's one little tidbit that just does him, and that is coming up in jury duty in just a bit.
So we were talking earlier about how to prove where you worked.
Mm-hmm.
And I made an account on the SSA.gov, Social Security Administration.
All right, yeah.
And now you can review your earnings record, and I can see year by year what I've earned each year. And then when you click view details, it's like, oh, iHeartMedia Entertainment, blah, blah, blah. And it's got like the address and the information.
How far back?
Yeah, does it go all the way back to the beginning of your working history?
It goes all the way to 2002 when I made a whopping $420.
Oh, all right. So where do we go? Let's see this bad boy.
That's interesting. But you can only do this with your own, correct? Like you couldn't look up if Kamala Harris worked at McDonald's. She would have to do
it herself and prove it somehow.
Which makes sense. I think that adds up. But that's interesting. Obviously, they have to have that kind of data around, but here we are. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. And I was wondering if anybody would email about this. But SB emails about this Marcelus Williams guy. And that's this dude right here. And he was the one who was executed this week. And I said flat out, Marcelus Williams was guilty. This guy was as guilty as we can know somebody is guilty in a case like this. But there is somebody who emailed and said, read this, especially the witnesses, both with criminal history and incentivized by a $10,000 reward. So I want to tackle this real quick if we can, okay? Uh-oh, I got myself wrong here. There
what
we
are
go.
you doing?
Marcelus Williams. This is from the link he sends to the Innocence Project. Now, the Innocence Project has his story up. Time left until execution is zeroed out because he's dead, R.I.P., and all that good stuff. But they don't just say that there's some things.
Kind of dark to keep the countdown on there. Or to have it to begin with, honestly.
Maybe that's what they're going for, though. They don't just say, hey, there were some problems with this trial, and we question whether or not Marcelus Williams was the one responsible for. There's not enough. They say, stop Missouri from executing an innocent man. Okay, that's what this says. So when you're telling me that somebody is on death row and they killed somebody in a brutal way, stabbed this journalist 40-something times and then left the knife in her ribs, you're telling me she's innocent, you better have some really banger info that's going to say this guy is innocent. So I won't even go to just the bullet points. I'll go to the actual page where they talk about this. Their number one thing is, this is a crime scene covered with forensic evidence that contained no link to Mr. Williams. Okay? And this is because the entire time the case was presented, they said that this guy always wore gloves. All the crimes that he committed in the past, this crime included, he wore gloves in the crime scene. His people said there's other people's DNA on the murder weapon. But the other people's DNA was the prosecution and an expert witness, people who had handled it during the trial in ways that they were appropriately told that they could handle it, the evidence. So there is nobody else's DNA on this. There's no other potential suspects. This guy absolutely did this. That's their number one point, that his DNA wasn't there. Number two, the prosecution's case against Mr. Williams was based entirely on the unreliable testimony of two incentivized witnesses. So they say these people were incentivized, and you even bring up in the email the $10,000 reward. The first person that said that Marcelus Williams, the man who was put to death, had killed this journalist was his girlfriend. His girlfriend found a purse that Marcelus had, and she goes, "Where did you get that purse from?" And he goes, and then he admits to her, "I killed this lady and I have her stuff." And he confesses to his girlfriend. His girlfriend, scared of him, does not go to the police. She does not tell the police about this until he's finally charged with this crime. And she comes forward and says, he confessed to me that he did this, and she outlines it. She never took any reward money. So she was clearly not incentivized by the reward money. She didn't take it. And also, she told the investigators details that nobody except the criminal would have known. It was non-public information that nobody except the criminal who killed this woman would have known. The other person was an inmate who he confessed to, and you could take issues with inmate confessions if you want. Number 3, Mr. Williams has repeatedly faced imminent execution as he tried to prove his innocence. If that's your number 3 point in saying that a guy is innocent, that he's he's faced imminent execution as he's trying to prove his innocent, so is everybody who's on death row. That's not anything unique at all. Number 4, although the victim's family opposes Mr. Williams' execution, the Missouri Attorney General has continued to fight to execute him. That's not how the system works, number 1, and the victim's family does not think that this guy is innocent. They think that he is the murderer, and he absolutely brutally killed this woman while she was taking a shower. They only said that they would agree to an Alford plea where it was life in prison. Number 5, incentivized informants are a leading cause of wrongful convictions. Again, this is your list of things that says this guy's innocent, and you're just repeating something you already said. Number 6, they say it was racial bias, and this is because in the jury there was one black person. They deemed that not to be enough. That doesn't mean that they're wrong. Number 7, Mr. Williams is a devotedly religious and accomplished poet. That's evidence that he's not guilty of a crime. Number 7 is that he's a devotedly religious and accomplished poet. I don't care. I'm sure many terrible people are those things. And number 8 is you can help stop Mr. Williams' unjust execution. That's not even a point. So this is the innocence
who's a very accomplished poet? Sean Diddy Combs.
So I look at this and go, this is their case. This is the Innocence Project. It's a joke. It's a joke. And many well-meaning people saw this. I saw like Turkey and the Wolf. They're murdering this guy. They posted this. A lot of people who are politically aligned with the left saw different messaging on this, and they believe that an innocent man was being put to death. But it's not the case. They have no good argument in favor of this, and all the evidence stacks up against this. All this woman's stolen items were found in the trunk of Marcelus's car. And when they asked him where he got them from, he could have simply said, oh, these aren't mine. I got these from... He had no answer because they were his items that he had stolen from the woman that he had murdered. And it's all very clear cut when you look at this case. So when you see people say, oh, they murdered somebody, this, that, every time you should take a moment of your time. I took 30, 45 minutes and I started looking up the details of the case, reading some of the court documents, and it became very clear that this man, if anybody can be proven to be guilty of a crime, this dude was definitely guilty. We're going to go to your dispatches in a moment. But first, one more. Justin emails. Hi, guys, and Sabrina. Podcast listener and fellow Disney adult. Just messing, Sean. But seriously, you should check out the Jade Dragon restaurant in the China Pavilion. It's delicious. I want to add on to the story of the Three Doors Down band talking to the crowd about Jesus. I saw Blue Oyster Cult at Epcot last year. Epcot has these food and wine concerts. And I don't know if you guys saw... When Yellow Card is massive, man. When Yellow Card played there, you couldn't get in. You couldn't get over to anywhere near where the stage was. They're popular as hell, and really, I would love to go see them, but it was way too busy.
They're a good time. I've seen them.
Blue Oyster Cult at Epcot, they're saying. They said nothing to the crowd other than, this one's from our new record, and it's called whatever. It was kind of funny because 4 out of the 5 songs, all of us were looking at each other like, we don't want to hear your new stuff. Play Don't Fear the Reaper and Burnin' for You. All in all, super talented musicians and cool to see them play live, but definitely thought that they felt playing Epcot was beneath them as they didn't interact with the crowd.
Oh, I'm sure they didn't feel that way when they were cashing the check.
True. They said Sheila E., Sugar Ray, Jimmy Allen, or Kool and the Gang were all awesome. So they did really well. Sheila E's the one with the skating ring song, right? She's got, what song does Sheila E. It's not with the Weeknd song. What the hell is the Sheila E. song? It's definitely a skating ring song.
E. I'm waiting for that to load.
We have Hold Me, I Like It, Sex Symbol, Cuckoo, Bemba Colora, The Belle of St. Mark, I Love Bizarre, The Glamorous Life.
You'd recognize it in 2
Glamorous.
seconds.
No, I don't know those.
Sheila E. We got this is Glamorous Life.
Oh, I know that. Yeah, 100%. I know that.
And then we have the Glamorous Life, and then we have the Glamorous Life short track.
That's a good song, though. I'll give her that. They said, regarding Macklemore saying F America, I used to get super upset about that when I was younger. I grew up in the military and knew people that didn't come back from fighting overseas. I used to think stuff like F America or burning flags was about the worst thing you could say or do. But my dad told my brother and I, this is why I fight, so that people can say and do that stuff. Since then, I think it's a dumb thing to say. But after going back through his catalog of music, Sealand's right. White Walls slaps. Hope you guys have a good day and everybody stays safe during Hurricane Helene. You guys have no idea how much sanity and normalcy y'all bring to my day every day, says Justin. After that statement from Macklemore where he said F America at this Palestine event, one of his concerts got canceled.
It's supposed to be a big festival.
Yeah, Neon City Festival announced that Macklemore will no longer be performing due to unforeseen circumstances. And they revealed some new headlines.
Half America was unforeseen.
Yeah, they didn't cite that appearance, but Macklemore posted a lengthy statement about it on Wednesday, so yesterday. The statement is like 9 slides on Instagram talking about saying F America. He said, do not misconstrue my word F for the word hate. It's different to be angry than to disown. My F, my anger is rooted not in disdain for where I was born, but in anguish for how we can collectively allow this to continue, blah, 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 blah. This is an inevitable conclusion of certain political things. If you say America bad, America bad, America bad, America bad, everything that's wrong with the world, in fact, is America bad. It's impossible for you to like America. You're not going to be able to support this country. If you say, like most normal people, America is a great country, albeit with some flaws, like any other country ever. Every country has flaws, and America is no different. But America, by and large, is a good country and a good force on the world. That's how I feel, at least. But if your policies are all boiling down to America bad, you're going to think F America, because America is causing all the problems in your dumb worldview. All right, let's go over to you. We can work in some dispatches here. Here is Winking Llama. Oh, no, I'm going to miss that one. Here's Ben with a dispatch. Hello? Ben?
Benjamin.
Ben, are you with it?
Hey, I just wanted to let you guys know, you're talking about verifying employment from like your first job.
Mm-hmm.
I worked my first job at 11 years old for the Cleveland Plain Dealer as a delivery boy. I doubt there's any way to actually back check that. But I would bet if I was paying or someone was paying the taxes and everything,
you can check it back. Yeah, and you can. Celine just told us that at the beginning of the segment. You can go back and see that. I just
got mine.
Oh, does it show your first job?
It doesn't show what, but it does sure what I earned in 2003. I was 13 years old.
13 years old was your first job? That's pretty good.
I don't know. I don't remember what it's from.
Really? Can't you see? Celine said you could click and go further. 13
now. Maybe I have to ask my mom. Why would I have filed anything?
You can't click on it and see where
your parents might have filed on your behalf.
But maybe I worked a summer job or something like that, and I got a paycheck.
That's interesting. 13.
Did you get paid by Good Counsel Camp?
I didn't work there as 13. I think my first year working there was 16. I earned $151.
Oh boy, that's a big year.
And now the following year, I earned $0.
Oh,
so
I mean, off to a good start.
Depending on the job you have. So my first job that I was paid for was for a clothing brand, but they paid out through the employer name says Workforce Innovation XVII Inc. SPS Florida Franchise Operations %side Advanced Processing Systems, and the employer address goes back to they used they filed us through some sort of employment company called Snelling. And once I Googled the address and I saw that Snelling was there, I was like, oh, I do remember that all of the paychecks came from Snelling and not from the actual company that I worked for. But
Sabrina, sorry, go ahead, Celine. I mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying that if you were to go through these motions, Sean, I think probably Papa John's was enough of a corporation at the time
Definitely.
that it would say Papa John's.
Absolutely. Sabrina, could it be that yours was the voice work stuff that you did as a kid?
That's what I'm thinking that it might have been.
Do you have the screen where you have the view details button on the right?
I just clicked it, and I certainly did not live or go to Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
It's from an employer named Checks in Motion Incorporated.
Checks in motion, huh?
So
All right.
maybe this was the voiceover work, and if that's the case, I got paid pretty good for a Burdine's commercial I didn't make the cut for.
Checks in Motion is a single source solution for advertisers and ad agencies for talent management.
Wow. Who's that girl?
Hang on, that means your first gig as a person, your first job was in the entertainment industry then.
And then the next year,
went
$0.
Zero.
So I did not make it until many years later. Dang, that's cool. I am going to dive into this afternoon.
Where do you look, Helene? Where can people check this so they can go back?
It is a whole thing, by the way.
Yeah, if you've never logged in, I think the people that usually log into this are people that are, receiving Social Security benefits. But if you log in, you have to get a login with login.gov, and then you have to go to the Social Security Administration website, which is ssa.gov. And then you put in your what your name and Social Security number is as it looks on the card, and your current address as it looks on your license, and they'll send you a thing, and there's a whole process, and then you finally get to My Social Security. That's what it's called, and you go, you can do your Social Security statement, you can replace your card, and then review your full earnings now. And then there's just a list by year of everything you've earned, and then you click a button that says review, take a closer look, and then there'll be a view details. And some of these years that I would have,
that's a lot of clicks, folks, but you'll maneuver your way through it, I'm sure.
One of these years I've had 3 different W-2s or a couple W-2s. It doesn't have for my bar earnings. It doesn't have the list of bars or anything. It's just here's your self earnings.
So I got the Cold Stone, which this is.
What year is this?
This was 2005.
2005, okay.
That was 15, but it was a franchise. So there's the franchise owner. So he named his company Creams of Hollywood.
All right, that sounds different.
And I did not remember that his last name was Schatz.
Schatz from Creams of Hollywood. That's a thing right there.
Thank you, Mr. Schatz, and all the creams.
That's kind of interesting. You can do that. Check that out. If you forget all of your early jobs, you'll probably find a couple that you completely let go to the dustbin of history. Somebody says, James, in fact, says the tips in the newsjunkie.com. Hey, Sean, I hear you guys bring up the Amazon stores frequently, and that could be the future of stores. It seems like that technology really wasn't there yet. He sends a link to, does Amazon's cashless just walkout technology rely on 1,000 workers in India? And USA Today doing a rundown of the humans actually behind this. I don't think that's the future of it. I don't know that brick and mortar is going to be a big part of the future of our world. I don't know that going to stores, unless there's unique experiences there, is going to be a future that we have all of this stuff. Save for Apple, most people don't focus on the in-store experience anymore. And Amazon, online shopping, all of these places, and then just the big giant stores seem to be gobbling it all up.
But you can do plenty of business with Apple and never go in the store. I mean,
you can.
It's kind of annoying.
Of tourists, I feel like
it's kind of annoying to show up at and to get your iPhone the day it's released at an Apple store. The line is outside of the mall, down the whole hallway. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, Apple uses that, I think, for repair. Like a line of repair for people and troubleshooting. And then they use it to show off their products. But
and they
I'm
do
not
have
that
all the old people doing their lesson of the day, how to work the iPad, which I always thought was really cute.
Genius class.
Yeah.
I personally don't want to go into those places. I just buy the thing I want and then it comes to the house. I don't need a whole rundown, but I think maybe older people might. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll get back to this Today Show shock. My God, they are really shocked. And the story about Diddy and celebrities getting all intertwined in this, including celebrities that didn't do anything wrong. This person says, I didn't do it. Who are they? What are they saying beyond that? It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Today on the Jim Colbert Show, celebrity guest host Bob Fryer will join Deb and myself for hurricane coverage this afternoon. We'll keep you up to date on what's happening with Hurricane Helene, checking in with our Fox 35 meteorologists, plus Date Night Done Right with Danny Meyering, Colbert Court with Glenn Klausman, plus your chances to win tickets to Halloween Horror Nights. All that and your calls, texts, and talkbacks.
The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com. Watch out for an accident on I-95 northbound near Old Dixie Highway, causing a bit of commotion, and just travel with caution on the major roadways and bridges this afternoon. You could expect tropical storm-like conditions. The outer rain bands of the hurricane will be grazing the area, and some of the roadways might be affected by heavy rains and flooding. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer.
John Legend here. How do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date with a COVID shot this season?
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Ask your healthcare provider and book at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
If you missed our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One.
Las Vegas, make some noise!
Watch the best moments exclusively on Hulu, beginning October 7th.
You guys are out for a party, I can tell.
See the biggest festival headliners from around the world assembled on one.
Lunch Taco Edition, Saturday, October 5th at the Promenade. Join me and the cast of The Jim Colbert Show as we host the Best Of Challenge. 11 venues competing to be crowned the best taco of Sunset Walk. Participants include BurgerFi, Cowboy Chicken, Ford's Garage, and Island H2O Water Park. VIP tasting tickets on sale now at sunsetwalk.com. Spectators and parking are free. Plus, DJ Scotty B, Society Band, and more. The Best Of Challenge Taco Edition, Saturday, October 5th at Sunset Walk.
We've all made questionable decisions in life. Like that time that you frosted the tips of your hair. But hiring an attorney shouldn't be. I'm Orlando attorney Mo DeWitt, and we offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee on all injury cases. If you are not completely satisfied with the way we treat you in your case within the first 30 days, you can take your file back and you owe us nothing. No fees, no costs, and no questions asked. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Visit justcallmo.com.
Ready to upgrade your home with energy-efficient windows and doors? This September, don't miss out on Renewal by Andersen's exclusive sale. For a limited time, buy one, get one 40% off replacement windows and patio doors, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 18 months. Their custom-made windows and doors are designed to keep your home comfortable year-round and reduce your energy bills. But hurry, this offer ends soon. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation. Don't just take my word for it, though. Here's what Lisa had to say when she left a review August 12th on Google. We were very pleased with the service we received from Renewal by Andersen. From start to finish, they communicated with us the status of our order. When it came to the install, Thomas and his crew were extremely courteous and professional. They worked hard and answered any questions we had. I highly recommend Renewal by Andersen. You won't be disappointed. Official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613.
Hey, it's that mortgage guy, Don. Good news. Mortgage rates have improved again this week. Get your quote for a refinance to lower payments or get cash out at thatmortgageguyDon.com.
ThatmortgageguyDon.com. Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment changeouts and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
We're definitely going to be late to the concert. I feel like we should be there by now.
I'm just taking a little detour. I gotta fill up my gas tank, and I know this place a couple towns over where the gas is cheaper.
Are you serious? We're gonna be late for the concert because you're driving out of the way for cheaper gas? Just use Upside.
What's Upside?
Upside is the free cashback app that gets you real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait, I can get cash back just for buying the gas I need anyway?
Yes, I use it all the time, and I've made around $200. Now pull over so you can download the Upside app before we miss the concert.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code OIL25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank, PayPal, or as a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code OIL25 for a 25 cent cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code OIL25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. That's code OIL25.
Hey everybody, this is Josh and Chuck from the Stuff You Should Know podcast. And if you've ever wanted to know about champagne, Satanism, the Stonewall Uprising...
Oh, how about chaos theory, El Nino, LSD, little true crime sprinkled in? Or maybe something historical like Rosa Parks?
Yeah, if you want any of that or anything else you can think of, then look no further. We have you covered.
That's right. Listen to the Stuff You Should Know podcast on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search Stuff You Should Know and start listening.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
At Mayo Clinic in Florida, we're seeing the unseeable. Using advanced imaging technology, our experts can look deeper into the human body, uncovering the smallest of details that would otherwise go unnoticed, leading to more accurate diagnoses and treatments. We're making more possible at Mayo Clinic because every day we're doing what's never been done. Learn more at mayoclinic.org/possible. Mayo Clinic. You know where to go.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by crimeline.org. Give a tip anonymously.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like the Beatles Now and Then, celebrating all things Beatles. Legendary. Just open the free iHeartRadio app and search the Beatles Now and Then and listen now. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
iHeartRadio. Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Forever hovering over life's great dump button. You're listening to the
Get into it anyhow. Story coming up in just a bit. Plus, you and your dispatches. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and hit record on your first dispatch right now. This would really hurt your feelings. I'm going to say that ahead of this story. If this happened to you, it would really hurt your feelings. And it's about a guy who I absolutely feel for, and his name is Oliver Bromley. And Oliver Bromley
lives in Downton Abbey.
A bit of a condition, this guy. In fact, this may be, is this the same condition as that movie we were talking about? Neurofibromatosis type 1.
Elephant face?
Yeah, I wonder if that was the same thing. Because this is a real story.
What?
Neurofibromatosis type 1 is what Oliver Bromley has and what he's dealing with. Unfortunately, this poor guy.
Ooh, the Google images. It's more the it looks like warts everywhere.
Yeah.
So the one I think that we it was a neurofibrosis matosis, but not the type. Like that movie is based on another type. This one is like you've seen this before though. It's like it's warty.
A different type of facial issue is what this guy's facing.
Are you seeing the same picture,
Yeah,
Sabrina, on the top
boobs.
left with the young girl?
I didn't
That's a creepy.
like the cartoon?
Nope.
Oh. Yeah, okay, that one is weird.
I'm putting this up right now on See It Now, so you can take a look on the newsjunkie.com at the visual.
Oh, it's hard to look at.
This poor guy, Oliver Bromley, was at a restaurant, and they told him, look, you got to leave. You're too ugly.
That's sad.
You're too ugly. You got to get out of here.
They didn't say ugly.
They said customers are complaining about you.
That's I almost cursed up.
It is messed up. It is. Here's the guy in question. Again, it's up on See It Now over on thenewsjunkie.com. He says he was in this restaurant and he's just chilling, enjoying himself.
Oh, he seems like a sweet man.
They come over and he goes, it's cash only. And they said, you went to an ATM to get some money. On return, staff told him, please leave because, quote, you're scaring the customers.
Oh, that's
which
so sad.
Is brutal. He said, after entering, I noticed a cash only sign, so I went straight back outside to withdraw my money. I went back into the restaurant to place an order, and they told me, please leave, sir. I am scaring the customers, and there have been complaints
That
about
ain't
me.
right.
He said there had not been enough time between the first time I had been there and the time I went back for anybody to have made a complaint about me. So obviously the restaurant staff were not happy with the way I looked. He said he left the establishment swiftly without challenging their decision. And he said they probably thought my tumors were contagious or something. But
Are they tumors?
Imagine? Yeah, that's what they're like, little tiny tumors that grow on his nerves. He has one eye that's very largely swollen out of his face, for those of you listening.
It looks like he has a right eye and then a boobie.
Yeah, one of his eyes looks like a breast. It's a drooping breast-looking eye that's on his face. And then his face is covered with these small tumors. It's not nearly as bad as the guy in that movie that was disfigured, but I guess bad enough so that people are mean like this. And people are. I know I've told you, if you've listened to the show for a while, the story about my sister that stuck with me forever. I'm not going to say, okay, this is kind of weird because I'm not going to say that I'm not going to make fun of somebody like this. If I'm with a group of people and there's nobody around, in no way ever they're going to hear, I might make jokes like this. But the thing that happened with my sister changed the way I looked at a lot of this stuff. Especially if I knew the person was going to be aware of anything I was saying or doing or my reaction. And when my sister, when her liver was failing and she was as orange as a Simpsons character, or not yellow as a Simpsons character, I guess.
Like rubber.
She went with the family to the grocery store, a Winn-Dixie grocery store, and she had a feeding tube on, or like a tube up her nose, a breathing tube or whatever. And just looked really sick. And when we were walking through the aisles, I remember seeing, as a kid, all the other people staring at her and saying stuff about her and telling their kids, don't stare. And
but that's the thing, like kids especially, they will stare and they will say stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to your boob? Why do you have a boob on your face?
And it's not necessarily their fault. They're little kids that sometimes just don't know better.
Oh, can you imagine somebody on the spectrum coming up like, your face doesn't look real?
There you go. I get it. There's certain circumstances where you're just going to run into that problem. But
so this guy has it pretty bad, but there is worse. There's this guy.
What are you doing, man? Oh.
What is with the genital kind of shapes?
It's a dangler. That's
also, I want that feature.
You want that?
No, I meant in order to show images and click a button.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's only a Sea-Land thing, you know.
Cool. All right.
Sorry.
I guess I'll just turn you guys down on the board. That's my thing.
Sea-Land can maybe tell you how to do it, maybe not. I'm not sure.
Man.
I can't do it. I don't know how that works. You think I know how it works? And I'm
Send
holding
you a
it out
damn
on you?
email and hope you checked in order to share stuff. Anyways, that guy's face looked like it had balls on it.
It was not great, but you should not at least be mean to their faces. Being mean to people in public is so screwed up. I've also shared with you about my uncle. I have an uncle who's gay, and this was back.
Every time I ask the gay uncle and you say no, and that was my one opportunity.
The gay uncle is, in fact, the guy, and I have several gay people in my family, and my uncle is.
So why are you so homophobic?
That's why. Just because I hate them all. It's weathered me down. So
when was the last time Sean went to a family reunion?
Look at all these.
Actually, this is not a good. I have a friend who's black for me. All right, this one doesn't really negate anything here. But my uncle and myself and my sister were walking into a Publix across the street from the Winn-Dixie grocery store I was telling you about. This all happened in a 1 block area, and at that grocery store, when we were walking in with my uncle, who had recently come out as gay, and he went full speed when he came out of that closet. He had shorts on.
Sometimes that's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Like, his shorts were maybe 4 inches long or so. Real short shorts.
Were
and they
his balls hanging out?
Very close, probably. Okay. They were frayed. There was like strings coming down from the jean shorts.
I have shorts like that.
So he's rocking these in Royal Palm Beach, and he gets out of the car we're in, and I'm walking with my uncle. I'm not thinking about anything in the world other than, hey, this will be fun. Let's go into the grocery store.
Walking with uncle.
And as we're headed into the automatic doors, some dude in a big, giant truck drives by and goes, hey, look at that F word for gays over there. And
say it, John.
And he stopped when he said it. He stopped the truck, and he's pointed, and look at that F word for gays. And as a kid, I was like, who's he talking about?
Well, when a man loves another man.
My uncle goes, he's talking about me. Get in the store. And I go, oh, that's rude.
Yeah,
why would somebody do that?
Guarantee the guy in the truck is a closeted homosexual.
Wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised. Okay, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, well, you're going to be on the show. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and hit record on your first dispatch right now.
Whoa! Yeah. I was just thinking, like, how did we go from that to Sean's first homophobic slur situation? Because his face looked like balls.
Being mean to people in public was the thing that was the impetus for this. Is so rude, so out of line.
Stop being mean, people. Be nice.
People do that. We're never going to fix that problem. Anyhow, well, as promised, when we come back, we'll talk about the mayor of New York and the trouble he finds himself in.
Is that right, Stinky?
And there's a whole bunch of details to this where you go, these people are the worst criminals. They're just bad at being criminals. If you're going to be a criminal, at least be a good criminal. What went wrong? That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
You know you can always text us, unless you're driving, at 77031. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings Fantasy.
Week 4 of the NFL season will kick off tonight. It's an NFC East clash between the Giants and the Cowboys at the Meadowlands. Hurricane Helene is forcing Florida State to adjust their travel plans for Saturday's game at SMU. Seminoles are leaving today instead of tomorrow. And over to baseball, where the Rays will try to avoid a sweep in Detroit this afternoon. Left-hander Tyler Alexander starts on the mound there for Tampa Bay. I'm Scott Davidson.
Check out what DraftKings has to offer this season with code SPORTS, because life's more fun when you're in on the action. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See DraftKings.com for details.
Have you been to Wassy's Meat Market yet? Wassy's Meat Market has hand-cut, never frozen, quality meats. And they've been right here in Melbourne for over 30 years. Choose choice and prime domestic Wagyu, Australian Wagyu, and A5 Japanese Wagyu beef. Wassy's also has sides, appetizers, pies. Did I mention that everything is homemade, which will make your meal even more special? Stop by Wassy's Meat Market from 9 to 6 and Sundays from 10 to 4 at 830 North Wickham Road, right there in Melbourne. That's Wassy's Meat Market.
Moments like my daughter telling me a new joke mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Guys, are you tired of being tired? Frustrated because it seems impossible to lose belly fat? If you're looking for a solution, then listen to Mark.
I had fantastic results with the Andro 400 Max. Probably lost 35 pounds, and more impressive than that was the inches I lost off of my belly and my waist. And the increased energy is fantastic. I'll be totally honest, I tried a different product, and and I wasn't happy with the different products. You guys are considerably cheaper than the other brand, and I can really feel the difference.
Andro 400 Max, the extra strength, all natural testosterone booster. The safe, easy, and affordable way to gain energy and lose stubborn belly fat. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Feel and look like a new man. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Every morning brings new opportunities. That's why I love McDonald's new limited time breakfast deal. For just $5, I can mix and match 2 of my favorite breakfast sandwiches to make all new flavor combinations. Today, I'm starting my morning with a sausage McMuffin with egg and an Egg McMuffin for just $5. Tomorrow, I may mix it up with 2 Egg McMuffins. So, it's a new day, but the same great 2 for $5 deal. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Single item at regular price. What's better than air conditioning? A portable air conditioner you can take anywhere. Enter McDonald's. Their drinks always cool me down, so I call them air cup-ditioners. Air cup-ditioners come in all my favorites, like classic Coke, Southern-style sweet tea, frozen Fanta Blue Raspberry, and, of course, iced coffee. And they're incredibly cost-effective. Any size is just $1.59 all day. Air drinks. Then there are drinks from McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Coca-Cola and Fanta are registered trademarks of the Coca-Cola Company.
You might wonder, John Legend, how do you keep your voice sounding so legendary? Honey. And how do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date? With a COVID shot this season, designed for recent variants.
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC.
The fresher, the better.
Ask your healthcare provider about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Wawa handcrafted beverages are just $3 or $4. From iced lattes to smoothies to a late-night milkshake. Get any handcrafted 16 or 24-ounce beverage for just $3 or $4. Gotta have a Wawa.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Storm coverage on Real Radio brought to you by Renewal by Andersen, proudly serving the state of Florida for over 20 years. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com.
I hit the wrong button. I'm still getting used to this new laptop. Everything went into some split screen thing for a moment there, and then I tried to still hit the button to fire the rejoin voiceover, and nothing happened. That's the way it goes today. All right, before we get into jury duty, let's get an update here on what's happening with Hurricane Helene. Everybody, I'm sure, preparing for Hurricane Helene, and we're looking at it off the coast of the state of Florida. This is from NOAA here as they track this. There's also a storm, Isaac, way out in the Atlantic, but it's pretty damn far away right now. Helene a lot closer, obviously, and already impacting many people in Florida who are hearing the sound of my voice right now.
Ever had Atlantic and Gulf Coast hurricanes at the same time? Like that
two
meet
at
each other?
once?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. That'd be crazy. And then
Like
super hurricane.
getting spit roasted?
Yeah.
By hurricanes?
And then
We don't want
Eiffel
that.
towering the Florida state of Florida.
I'll tell you, the hurricane spit roast is not what I'm looking for. I'm going to say a big giant no on that.
No, in that case, I'm going to Rochester.
You know what's so funny that like we don't pay attention to it all because it's so far from our radar, but for whatever reason, I have a weather app that gives me alerts on Pacific Coast hurricanes. And it's a completely different naming convention, and they'll be like, hurricane this is formed. I'm like, there's a new hurricane. Oh, this is nothing. That's so far away.
West Coast hurricanes. Who cares about those? Helene strengthening and expected to make landfall in the Florida Big Bend this evening as a major hurricane. Everybody is working on getting everything ready. Storm surge warning out there in effect. Hurricane warnings in effect. The tropical storm warning is in effect for the Keys, the Flamingo to Anclote River, including Tampa Bay, west of Mexico Beach, they say, Lake Okeechobee, and some other spots here. And this is the center of Hurricane Helene was located near latitude 25.5, 85.5 to the west.
Beautiful this time of year.
Is moving toward the northeast near 14 miles per hour. A significant increase in forward speed is expected during the next 24 hours. On the forecast track, Helene will make landfall in the Florida Big Bend region this evening. After landfall, Helene is expected to turn northwestward and slow down over Tennessee in the Tennessee Valley on Friday and Saturday. Maximum sustained winds have increased to 105 miles per hour with higher gusts. And it's going to get stronger. It's going to get stronger. It's going to be a major hurricane when it reaches the coast of Florida this evening. After landfall, as you can imagine, it's going to weaken down a little bit. But the strong, fast forward speed that Helene has is going to lead to damaging winds. And it's a huge hurricane.
This is crazy. Hurricane force winds extend outward up to 60 miles from the center. Tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 345 miles.
Damn,
that's long.
It's all Florida. And like thinking of the path, and like, of course, it weakens, when it hits. But like the path that it is now, it's like it's just hitting the smallest little portion of Florida first. That has all that time to strengthen. Versus like starting in Miami or in Central Florida, stuff like that. Now it's like when it's in the Big Bend area, it's just going to be huge.
Well, thankfully, it's not looking to buzzsaw up the state of Florida from bottom to top, but we still don't know precisely where this is going to make landfall because that could change. Right now, they're saying this Big Bend on the Panhandle, but I would still say that there's a chance that this sucker could move one way or another. So that's why we need to keep watching. All right, now it's time to get into jury duty. So here we go. Let's do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. 866-CALL-MO, 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 or go to justcallmo.com. New York City Mayor Eric Adams has been indicted on federal criminal charges. Say it ain't so. Corrupt politicians in New York City. I don't even believe you. I don't believe it's true. What? No way. New York City Mayor Eric Adams has been indicted by a grand jury on federal criminal charges, according to two people familiar with the matter. The indictment detailing charges against Adams, a Democrat, was expected to be unsealed on Thursday. They said this was all about some corruption and campaign contributions with the Turkish government. And one thing that I loved was this piece of the charging documents. And it said, one of the people connected to Mayor Eric Adams in New York City agreed to speak with FBI agents and acknowledged that he and his employees had contributed to the 2021 campaign. Businessman 5 further acknowledged he had spoken with the Turkish official about his construction company's fundraiser for the 2021 campaign. But Businessman 5 lied in order to conceal the straw donations he orchestrated, falsely denying that he caused his construction company to reimburse his employees for their contributions and that he knew why the company had issued identical checks to 10 employees for the amount of their contributions shortly before the fundraiser. If this doesn't make sense to you, what this person did with their company was they pretended like 10 employees donated to Eric Adams' campaign. And when the 10 employees made the donation to Eric Adams' campaign, they gave them a check in that same exact amount. This was a way for the company to donate more money to Eric Adams and make it look like it was employees that did this. So here's my favorite part of this. The Adams staffer also agreed to speak with FBI agents and falsely denied the criminal conduct of herself and Adams, among others. At one point during her voluntary interview, the Adams staffer excused herself and said she had to use the restroom. She goes into the bathroom, and then she deleted the encrypted messaging application she had used to communicate with Adams, the promoter, the Turkish official, the airline manager, and others. So
yeah, good move.
That they thought they wouldn't get caught. Like, I'm going to delete this right now, and they'll never find out. Clearly, they're saying, we knew exactly what she was doing. She deleted Telegram or WhatsApp or whatever the app was that she was using to communicate with all of these people, and they know everything, it would appear. So Mayor Eric Adams, he says he's not going to back down. This is because he's speaking out against things.
Is this the mayor who was running against Miranda from Sex and the City? Cynthia Nixon?
I don't know. It might have been her. It might have been that campaign. Eric Adams, he's not very popular right now, mostly because he tried to lurch towards the center and he tried to say, hey, we got to come down on crime and we got to do this and this. So he lost his people on the left. And the people on the right didn't like him to begin with. They weren't voting for him. And so he was a man without a party, a man on an island. And now he's got some corruption charges. He's been indicted on federal criminal charges as a result. Now, onto this Diddy thing real quick. And I told you, there's so much weird stuff going on. Every time somebody is close to the orbit of Diddy, people go nuts with the conspiracies. Usher... His posts are disappeared off his page.
Bieber.
He says he was hacked and all the posts are back. Bieber, what's going on with him? There's a fake AI song that looks like it calls Diddy out.
Oh, and they photographed him recently and there's like, he's so skinny now. It must be because he's stressed out about the Diddy stuff.
Right. Yeah, they're connecting dots that don't need to be connected. And
that's a good diet.
Pink said... after her Twitter feed was deleted, people said, oh, my God, she must have a connection to Diddy. Pink was involved in the freak-offs. Oh, what's happening here? And she has to come out, and she had to make a statement. She goes, I don't know why I became a headline this week, but I wiped my Twitter account on February 6th. There's no truth to the rumors spread this week, and while I've met people in passing, I'm not associated with any of the people that have been mentioned. So she's saying, I'm not a Diddy-adjacent person. Please leave me alone. There are so many weird fake stories about the Diddy stuff out there.
Now it's Suge Knight, I guess on his jail phone podcast, saying that he, coming down or he's in withdrawal, Diddy is, from...
Oh, is he? Because of drugs?
But it's a particular name I can't remember right now, but it's a mix of like cocaine, MDMA, meth, and something else. And that particular drug he is coming off of. And then there was another guy... who, I don't know.
Meth. P. Diddy doesn't strike me as a meth person.
No, what about when you mix it with MDMA and cocaine and 3 other things?
Maybe it's Adderall, though. It could be.
And what was the other thing? This other guy just came out and he was on a podcast. It was related somehow. Maybe he's like a D-list artist. And he's like, DJ Khaled is bisexual. And the podcaster was like, did you want to say allegedly? He's like, I'd say alleged if it was. DJ Khaled and Jay-Z have both had bisexual tendencies at these Diddy parties.
Tendencies, I like that. Media Takeout is just full of this stuff. This says, Kareen, I don't even know who that is. Superhead Stephans. I'm not going to ask any questions about the nickname.
How have I never been called Super? Okay.
Because you're kind of mediocre. We're working on it.
This story says, Diddy,
never had any complaints?
Diddy allegedly beat up Kamora Lee Simmons when she was pregnant. Diddy's twin daughter doesn't believe the charges. They think their dad was targeted.
What about the other twin?
50 Cent, the Diddy documentary is going to be juicy. Here's all the details. Diddy has a sex
TMZ
tape.
is the same. I mean, it's just all
everywhere,
over the place, and the same story too.
So there's a lot to digest on that front, I guess. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to finally get into this Today Show drama, what's happening over there. More importantly, we're going to give you all the updates on Hurricane Helene, and we're going to do a little breakdown here as to what place you're at and what you can expect. What is today? What is tomorrow? What is it going to look like? That's an important thing. The kids are out of school. We know that. But what's going to happen? Those details on the coming Hurricane Helene coming up next on the News Junkie.
The Tampa Bay Bucks welcome the Philadelphia Eagles this Sunday. Coverage starts at noon on Real Radio 104.1 and the free iHeartRadio app. Presented by Renewal by Anderson, official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Move over and slow down. Authorities are working on clearing up a disabled vehicle blocking 2 right lanes on I-4 westbound at State Road 536. Traffic is backed up from State Road 535, and just keep in mind, Outer bands of the hurricane will be grazing the area, so just travel with caution on the major roadways and bridges. They're going to be wet out there. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Florida Power and Light.
At FPL, we're working every single day to deliver reliable electricity while keeping bills as low as possible. See how at fpl.com/value.
You know, one of the big breakthroughs in the last 10 years that not enough people talk about is these online prescription services. It's so awesome. It's so awesome to be able to get what you need without going to the doctor's office and having some awkward conversation, waiting in line at the pharmacy, right to your front door. And if you're interested, Blue Chew can help you out with this very service. Right to your front door, they can deliver the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in a chewable form. It's at a fraction of the cost. This could not be more convenient. If you're looking to up your performance in the bedroom, if you want some extra confidence, guys, number one, don't be ashamed about this, okay? Embrace it. Use this as a pro tip, a hack to be more impressive in the bedroom and ready to go when you need to. Blue Chew's tablets are a performance enhancement for the bedroom, and they can help you gain extra confidence when it's time to perform. And it's all online. It's really, really easy to do on their website. Their licensed medical providers work with you. They find the right ingredient, the right strength, whatever you need. And you just chew these things. They're easy to chew tablets that are great. They're made in the USA, and here's the deal you can get right now. Try Blue Chew free when you use the promo code TNJ at checkout. Try this for free when you use TNJ at the checkout. You pay just $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code TNJ. You get your first month free, just like that. Give it a try, guys. Just chew it, they say, over at BlueChew.com.
Sponsored by the Nickley Group with Keller Williams Realty. Get a guaranteed cash offer on your home at thenickley.com.
Moments like my daughter telling me a new joke mean a lot to me. But after being diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that is spread to other parts of the body, they mean even more. I take Ibrance, palbociclib.
Ibrance 125 milligram tablets with an aromatase inhibitor is for adults with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com. Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, infections, tiredness, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
Mortgage rates are heading down. Many people have loans in the 7s or even 8% range. If you're one of them, well, you should explore the savings for a refinance to lower your payments or get cash out, and explore it with That Mortgage Guy Don. Get a quote with no hard credit inquiry by going to thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with thatmortgageguyDon.com.
Business owners, had enough of this yet? Are you just done and ready to retire? Is money tight? Or maybe business is at an all-time high. You have options. Don't just walk away. We can help you sell, retire, and just relax no matter what your situation is. Hi, I'm Andy Cagnetta, and at Transworld Business Advisors, we've been selling businesses for over 40 years. And with offices located around the world, we have thousands of buyers ready to buy your business now. Don't wait until the last minute or try to do it yourself. That is a recipe for disaster. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value and how Transworld can maximize your eventual selling price. We will help you win. And in the current climate, you need help to sell your business. Call Transworld at 833-SELL-FLA or visit tworld.com. That's 833-SELL-FLA or visit tworld.com.
When you're injured on the job, you need more than just a workers' comp lawyer. When you need a fighter, you need us. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. For the people. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Boost Mobile built America's newest 5G network and made it easier than ever to switch. And when you do, you can get a free Galaxy A25 5G. Need to hook up the whole family? With Boost Mobile, you can get 4 unlimited lines and 4 free 5G phones for only $100 per month. To switch, head to your local Boost Mobile store today and get your free Galaxy A25 5G or 4 unlimited lines and 5G phones for $100 a month. New customers only. Requires auto pay and ID verification. Other restrictions apply. See participating dealers for details.
Wawa makes the right handcrafted beverages for the right time. And now, handcrafted beverages are just $3 or $4. Jump out of bed for an iced latte. Take a lunch break for a smoothie. Or celebrate with a late-night milkshake. Wawa makes the right beverages for the right time. Now at an even better price. Get smoothies, lattes, or any handcrafted 16-ounce or 24-ounce beverage for just $3 or $4. Gotta have a Wawa.
Honey, I'm going to Wawa for dinner.
Okay, but Ben wants pizza.
Yup.
And Nick wants a burger and fries.
Right.
Oh, and the twins, they won't touch anything except for mac and cheese.
Exactly. Wawa has something for everyone for dinner, so I only have to make one stop to make everyone happy. So, what do you want?
Well, if you're going to Wawa, I have to have a hoagie.
From burgers to hoagies and everything in between, Wawa has dinner for everyone.
Score your next used car during the Winning Drive sales event at Sutherland Nissan Orlando. Used car prices start at $89.88 and credit problems are no problem. Sutherland Nissan Orlando. OrlandoNissan.com. Home with a lifetime warranty.
VIN number 5Y104975 plus taxes and fees with approved credit.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
Discover the new Buick SUVs in stock now at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. This is WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Listen on your free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Story time with the 3 best friends you never knew you had.
Do join us on the show. I'd love to hear your voice. Go to thenewsjunkie.com and record your first dispatch right now. It's easy. You can do it on any kind of phone or laptop. You got a microphone. You are good to go. It is so interesting to me to watch all of chat get triggered by Blue Chew every time it comes up on this show.
I need boner gummies.
You people are strange. It's okay if guys go out and get help for stuff. It's not cool to shame people for that. You're a bunch of weirdos when you do that.
It's a cheat code. It is a cheat code.
There's things that I don't understand in the world of guys with medicine that is constantly shamed and gone after, like publicly. Everybody could go after it. And,
shaming, but it's like it's thriving. Everyone has no problem shaming when the majority of people are using it behind closed doors. We wouldn't have this many commercials if so many people weren't using it.
That's the interesting thing, but there's still people that get weird about this. Like, if there's people who need stuff like that, why would you care? Why would you care for a second in your life? Everybody should get all of the help and do all the things that they need to make their life better. Anything you could do. That's the point of being on this planet of ours. Try to enjoy yourself, and if
get aroused.
One of those little pills does it for you, even just for a little test, you might find out.
Oh my God, did you test it?
No, I haven't tried one. I've tried the actual stuff a long time ago. I'm not going to tell that story, and I don't want that attached to this.
Well, you did just start it, so
sponsor at the slightest, because it was maybe with some recreational stuff.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
But there's been this long time weird shame attached to stuff like that. You should not have shame attached to any of those things. Do your thing, man. Don't feel bad about it.
I had a friend in high school steal one of his dad's Viagras.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And him and another friend took him just to see what it was like. They didn't have sexual partners. I think they just took them and
just walked around with that.
No.
That's the thing. Everybody thinks you let's say it's a blue chew. You chew a blue chew and then ba-bam. No, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, you still have to get aroused.
Yeah, it gets you ready for when the time comes and you're ready to go.
I'm saying, but like, if you were to consume that, and all of a sudden you have a thought cross your mind.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Then it's happening, right?
I don't know. That would be. It's just more likely, maybe because it's in your system or something. But it would be totally possible to have a blue chew, let's say, and then walk around fine. But then when things get a little hot and heavy later, then it's ready there for you and good to go. And guys, don't let there's a lot of people shaming folks for this. Don't ever feel bad about it for a second. Erica says, it only bothers me that boner pills are covered when women have to pay for menstrual products.
Thank you.
I don't think that should be the case. I certainly don't agree with that if it is the case. I think that a lot of these things should be easier to get. One thing that blows my mind, and I know there are reasons for it, but it does blow my mind that it is difficult at all to get birth control pills. It does blow my mind that that's not the simplest thing ever. It's the drug that's been tried out and tested on more people than almost anything ever in the history of ever. And I know doctors go, well, we want to make sure everything's going good and we have to come in for an appointment, blah, 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 blah. I want these drugs that have been tested so widely on the market to be so available and so easy to get so everybody can, without any shame, help themselves out. It used to be hard to get allergy pills, people.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. That was the line I was going to draw there, because I used to, for Nexium, which is over the counter now, for Zyrtec,
all my allergy
which is
stuff
over the counter
I had
now,
to get a prescription for.
Yeah.
Which was wild.
It makes the world such a better place that you can get all of this stuff and you get it from home and you can take care of yourself, and you should feel absolutely fine about that.
Yeah, if
no
you
matter
don't
what's
want
wrong.
all of the abortions, then you need to give better access to birth control so that people don't have to have those decisions.
I would think so. In my view of the world is that we don't want unwanted kids, because unwanted kids are usually bad, and they usually are attached to criminality.
Sucks to be unwanted.
And it's a bad life. It's just a bad life for the person that is in those shoes. So you should make it easy to not end up with unwanted kids. But that's just me here. I think most people feel that way, honestly. I do. All right, let's see what we got going on. We're going to work in a couple of dispatches here. Just wanted to address that. And let's go over to the drunken mailman, who's talking about the man with the face that was a little rough for some of the patrons at a restaurant. And they said, get that ugly dude out of here. Here's the drunken mailman.
Hey, News Junkies. Happy Thursday.
Hey.
Hey, if I was at the restaurant when that guy was there with the ugly face, I wouldn't leave. But if he was in my line of sight, let's say he was sitting behind my wife, so every time I looked at my wife, I had to look at his ugly face. I would either have to ask my wife, can you please switch with me? And if I couldn't do that, then I would probably leave, because I just can't look at that while I'm trying to eat. I'm sorry. The guy's disgusting. You know, it sucks for him, though. Take it with him.
Jesus Christ, man.
Woof, man. Woof.
I had a time. There was a time when I was very young, and I was with my mother at a Wendy's. And we were eating in the restaurant, which can't remember the last time I've eaten inside a fast food restaurant. And we were eating, and there was a homeless guy that apparently had either gotten his hands on some money, or they felt bad and gave him a bowl of soup, probably a bowl of chili.
Yeah.
And he was behind my mother, so I could see him, and he was like eating it, but he kept spitting it out, because I don't know if he was like messed up or just it was bothering him or something, or he was like so homeless and sick that it was hard for him to eat, but he just kept trying to chug it down, and I was like disturbed, and my mom's like, "You want to switch with me?" And I was like, "Yes." Yeah, I don't know.
See, Mama Lane doesn't care at all. She's a saint. She goes, "This is not an issue for me at all." Meanwhile,
I'm sure she didn't love it, but she was being protective parent here. I was a little disturbed. I was very young.
While we're admitting things,
this was a Wendy's that had a salad bar, I believe.
My incident was at a Wendy's too, and if I mentioned this, it was years and years and years ago on the show. But I once went through the drive-thru and I was so hungry, and I got 2 of those little bacon junior bacon cheeseburger things they had for 99 cents back in the day.
Oh, good old days.
And those are so cheap and so good. And I got the 5-piece nugs for 99 cents and the drink, right? Good deal when you have no money. I go through the drive-thru. I'm starving. And as I pay, everything's going well. And then I go up to the window to pick up my food. And I reach to grab the bag of food. And the woman who handed me the bag had 6 fingers, and one of the fingers was coming off of her pinky. It was a full-formed finger coming off of her pinky. And as I grabbed the bag, the finger hit my hand, and I was holding the bag. And you know how sometimes after the drive-through window where they hand you the food, there's a trash can that's real close to the drive-through? I kept driving. I didn't break pace, and I threw that whole bag of Wendy's right in the trash can.
That is so messed up.
I felt terrible, but it was gross to me. And as a kid at the time, I didn't think about it. I was young, and I was just being rude to the person. Now, I would have driven to another Wendy's.
Absolutely thrown it out.
Yes, but I would have done it privately, so they didn't see me just touch their 6th finger and then dunk the Wendy's bag full of food into the trash can right in front of them.
And since we're being transparent here, and I'm trying to find the video on Instagram, but let's never forget. Yeah, that was, I was just trying to be nice and have a fun little moment with this old ass man. And then he touched my face, which was...
That guy, though, not only was he missing many fingers, I believe, was it at least 2 fingers? Two fingers he was missing? Not only was this guy that Sabrina interacted with missing 2 fingers, but his fingers were like sausages. They were, as I recall, they were like fatty fingers.
And it's the greatest... I mean, it's the greatest moment I've captured as far as like raw emotional reaction. And what I remember is... the rest of the day, because all 3 of us were hanging out. I think we were going to go record something or went to a meeting. And I just remember that part of my face being very warm the rest of the day.
You feel it. You want to scrub your face.
It, man.
If she could find it, the face that Sabrina has goes from having fun, having a good time, meeting somebody.
It's a double take. It's a full double take. All right, keep chatting. I'll find it in a second.
All right, let's work in a dispatch or 2 here. Let's go over to Flip, talking about bands not playing their hits.
So my wife and I took our 10-year-old to his first concert about a year ago or so, and it was Tears for Fears. And I was never a big Tears for Fears fan, but we were looking for something to do and got tickets, and it was other than Foo Fighters, it was my favorite concert I had ever been to. It turns out that their new album is really good, and they played all their hits, and the reason I'm leaving this is because they kind of made an announcement, and I can't remember exactly what they said, but it was basically along the lines of, I know you paid a lot of money to come see us, and we will play all the hits, we promise, but first we're going to play our new album. And luckily for them, their new album is actually really good.
Oh, okay, that's good.
But anyways, yeah, fantastic time. My 10-year-old is now a Tears for Fears fan, along with Foo Fighters.
There you go. All right, is that Everybody Wants to Rule the World? Is that Tears for Fears?
Yes.
Love that song. Oh,
I didn't even know they were still
that. And didn't you weren't with us when we saw Tears for Fears and Hall & Oates?
I wasn't. No,
I was in Tabo.
No, it was in Orlando.
I was not. Oh no, I was. Maybe I was late. That was the one in which I believe not Daryl Hall. So Oates had
John Oates.
He saw me and my girlfriend at the time and give us like winks. And he was like, hey, playing his piano, giving us the eyebrows as if something was going to happen.
You think John Oates was making a move?
Who's the one that's less famous? Who's the one that had the TV show?
Daryl Hall had the TV show.
So Oates definitely saw me and her kiss and then was like doing some direct eye contact stuff. It was very strange. You know it when you know it, dude. I promise you. I'm not trying to... It wasn't flattering to me whatsoever.
All right.
It was like 6 fingers handing you a Wendy's bag.
All right. Let's do one more.
Well, make him better at the keyboard.
Very true. Talk about a solo.
Is there anybody who plays keyboard or piano who has 6 fingers who is just dramatically better? Because I would love to see that, if that's a thing. Usually the problem is the 6th appendage is not as fully formed as the rest.
Yeah, you don't have the movement in it.
Found it.
But this woman in the Wendy's drive-thru, she could have definitely done like a deedle, like with the extra finger. She could at least hit the next key and made a nice little noise. I think that could have worked. Did you send this to me?
Sure did.
All right, hang on. Let me put this up here. Oh yeah,
volume as well because it's perfectly. Edited.
This guy is an interesting character here. Let's see.
He is dead.
Is he dead?
Yeah, very dead. See, there it is, but I didn't know it yet.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you too.
Be good tonight. Be safe. All right, and then
Be safe.
I'm
Here's
gonna
where you
see,
notice
I'm
the
gonna see it
fingers.
in 2 seconds. Yep.
What the?
And then you'll see the slow. There it is. I mean, come on.
He's full on missing him at the knuckle too.
And had he had them, his fingertip would have been in my ear.
Oh my God! Does this say 325 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Is that how long this was?
Throwback.
And
Actually, 325 weeks ago was when you posted this.
And that was an anniversary.
That was 2018.
that was 10 years ago. Holy cow!
No.
It says on this day in 2014, I was fortunate enough,
2014.
to capture my own that awkward moment when on this day, and then somebody commented 184 weeks later after you posted that thing.
Thank you, Neil Westfall.
All right, there we go. Let's take a quick break. Actually, we can work in one more, can't we? Yeah, we have enough time.
Always pushing it.
Here's Archon.
Hey, new junkies.
Uh-oh.
Hope y'all good and safe.
You too.
Roddy here from McMurray. Regarding old jobs, if you go to one of those government websites, socialsecurity.gov or medicare.gov, you can create your profile and see.
Yep. Yeah, we noticed that. Thank you, Archon. Appreciate your dispatch. I got to it too late. That's my fault. Let's do one from Catalina Wine Mixer.
G'day, junkies.
Hey.
Just dispatching in about the homeless signage that was put up in Douglas County, Colorado.
Yep.
I am not far from Douglas County.
If you're not aware of what happened here, we talked about this on the show previously, and this city or this county, Douglas County, Colorado, put up signs, and it said, handouts don't help. 3 words that they put on the signs by where the homeless panhandlers would be. So right behind the hobo, it might say, handouts don't help, and they said that cut down on homeless people.
And think that was some serious virtue signaling, considering Douglas County is one of the most funded counties. I almost said states. Counties in the state. They have some of the best schools. Houses there start at $1 million.
Yeah.
And I just think it's so silly that they are trying to tout themselves as some homeless solution bearers. Don't break your arm patting yourselves on the back, Doug Co.
Yeah, they had said in the same story, which to me was kind of silly, there was only 80 homeless people in the county. So you said, if you have 80 homeless people in your county, you don't have a really big homeless problem. Counties that have a lot, let's see, hold on.
So handouts did kind of help.
Los Angeles County homeless population. It doesn't help in Los Angeles, I'll tell you that. In Los Angeles, 75,312 people. Now, I don't know much about numbers, but I think that's a little bigger than 84. 75,312.
Let me double check.
A little bit bigger of a problem. So we'll see if the signs work in L.A. Maybe that does something. Who knows? Let's go to a break, and when we come back, oh my God, I've been teasing the Today thing forever. I'm so sorry. I apologize profusely.
Teasing it so much, it's going to end up tomorrow.
Wow.
No, it's on today. It's coming on today. The Today drama coming on today, and updates on what's happening with the hurricane as Helene approaches. How big will it be? That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733. From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Traffic is slowing down due to a disabled vehicle. Authorities are trying to clear up here. 2 right lanes are blocked on I-4 westbound near State Road 536. Traffic is backed up from State Road 535. Move over and slow down in that area. And just keep in mind, there's going to be tropical storm-like conditions all throughout the area. So travel with caution on the major roadways and bridges. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine. I'm Ellie Anajar. And we're Anajar and Levine. Experience the Anajar and Levine difference by calling us with any of your legal needs. Call 1-800-747-FREE for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
In Office, Orlando.
Bonkers Comedy Club returns to the Wharf at Sunset Walk with Ross Padgett live. Saturday, October 5th at 9:30 p.m. Come by for a free special encore performance starring Ross Padgett with special guest Brad Schutz. Register now to reserve your space at wharfatsunsetwalk.com. Don't miss Ross Padgett's live performance at the Wharf at Sunset Walk next to Margaritaville Resort Orlando. Saturday, October 5th at 9:30 p.m. To reserve your free tickets today, visit wharfatsunsetwalk.com.
It's always a good time for donuts, so indulge in Shipley Donuts. Fresh-made donuts in delicious flavors from classic glaze to the Oreo cookie top treats, crafted with quality ingredients. Catering and online ordering is available. Visit Shipley Donuts, now open in Orlando on South Cimarron Boulevard.
Orlando's it's time to think about what you can save instead of what you're spending. Each year you wait, you could be losing thousands. This year alone, prices have jumped over 10%. Isn't it time you own your own power or solar source? With over 40 years in business, Solar Source has over 60,000 installations right here in Central Florida. They've had the same phone number since 1984. It's no wonder this company is the one I trust. I started with a pool heater solar, and now I'm thrilled that Solar Source has a pay-as-you-go system. I can save monthly, and it starts at $99. That's solarsource.com/monsters.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F-words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated. Forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Have you been to Wassey's Meat Market yet? Wassey's Meat Market has hand-cut, never frozen, quality meats. And they've been right here in Melbourne for over 30 years. Choose choice and prime domestic Wagyu, Australian Wagyu, and A5 Japanese Wagyu beef. Wassey's also has sides, appetizers, pies. Did I mention that everything is homemade, which will make your meal even more special? Stop by Wassey's Meat Market from 9 to 6 and Sundays from 10 to 4 at 830 North Wickham Road, right there in Melbourne. That's Wassey's Meat Market.
People often ask why I continue to do what I do. For the past 8 years as sheriff, my passion for law enforcement in our community has driven me to make a positive impact. As a dedicated leader, I've introduced new technologies to improve public safety and built programs that strengthen our community ties. Being sheriff isn't just a job for me. It's about making a real difference and ensuring our efforts lead to lasting results by always going the extra mile. Paid by Mike Chitwood, Independent for Sheriff.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like the Beatles Now and Then, celebrating all things Beatles. Just open the free iHeartRadio app and search the Beatles Now and Then and listen now. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
Do you have AC needs? Turn to the experts at Carrier. Go to millsair.com.
Filling you in on the shocking details. Just try not to pass out. This is the...
Today, not tomorrow, as Helene suggested, but we will get to that in a moment. Don't forget, you can always subscribe to the podcast. Go to thenewsjunkie.com, and you can find all the links you need right there on the website. Some news over at the Today Show. I was surprised by this, honestly. First of all, I don't know how to say her last name. I always screw it up. Is it Hoda Kotb? Kotb? Hoda Kotb? I'm not trying to be a smartass. It's Kotb. Hoda Kotb is what I think is the right way to say it. She's announced she's going to be leaving the show early next year at the Today Show. And I started to think back, and I go, geez, has she really been there that long? And she has. She's been there for 26 years. But I remember my Today Show was Matt Lauer and I think Meredith Vieira.
No, there was somebody before Meredith Vieira.
Diane Sawyer.
No.
Damn it.
The one who was like America's sweetheart.
Yeah.
But I didn't watch her much. No.
Matt Lauer and Savannah?
No, Savannah Guthrie was on there for a while too. Katie Couric is the one that I was thinking of. And Katie Couric and Matt Lauer were, I think they kind of model some of this stuff on that morning show off of those relationships. And
definitely the Matt Lauer stuff.
Definitely the Matt Lauer stuff, because obviously the Me Too and all that was weaved in and out. I dropped off of that show. I drop off of these shows when they just lose their way sometimes. This is why Sabrina's still on the mission. We'll see if she stays with Handmaid's Tale as the seasons go on.
I'm invested, man. Under his eye.
Everybody else was too. We all watched this years and years and years ago.
But you're also talking to someone who's still invested in Grey's Anatomy over 10 years later.
Yeah, but Grey's Anatomy's still doing good shows, right?
I mean, I don't think that you would still be watching it.
Well, I'm not. I'm not into Grey's Anatomy, but when you look at a show, you follow the trajectory of it, and sometimes it can stay good the whole time. Very rare. I can't mention too many shows or think of too many shows that stayed good from the first episode to the last episode, save for Schitt's Creek. Stayed good from the first episode to the last episode, for the most part.
Schitt's Creek knew when to bow out.
That's what they did, yeah.
And
if they kept going 4 more seasons, they might have turned into bad territory. But the morning show, the first season was fun and kind of dramatic and interesting.
Oh, look, there was an EAS. Everybody missed all the Today drama.
Well, was there really?
No, there's not.
Good prank.
Son of a
Got
bitch.
him.
There was on the morning show a great first season, a great second season. And then it just became about what kind of pearl clutching thing are we going to do next? Some emails were discovered. This. And I wanted drama. I wanted the characters to fight with each other. But it just became about like victimization over and over and over. And it lost me. I don't know if it lost a lot of other people, but it became predictable and boring. And I fell off that show quite a bit. I am digging something else, though. We're watching, and I think the third season is out now, but we've been watching the show From. And for those of you who haven't seen this, it's kind of interesting.
Wait, on AMC or MGM?
I don't know where we're watching
it's like
it, honestly.
You go into a town and you can't leave?
Yep.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I told you, I thought I talked to you guys about that.
Oh, we watched it years ago.
Yeah, I thought it was great. The only thing is it's a bitch to continue watching unless you buy it.
Yeah, and also the third season is just now coming back, but I think they're doing the thing where they dribble out the episodes. So I kind of, on that one, I want to binge it. I want to keep going. It's about this town, and when people are driving, they end up there randomly, and they can't get out. They get stuck in the town, and they're all trying to figure out why they're stuck in this town, and it goes on to a bunch of other things that happen to these folks. And it's pretty interesting. And the first time we watched it, I paid so little attention. And I know that now. I know how distracted I get when I'm in my phone or doing some work or something on the couch, because I was present for this entire first season of this show and the second season. And I remember so few things. So I was watching it, but just barely paying attention. That show I'm digging. I like that. But the Today Show I have not watched in years and years and years and years. The last time I liked it was when Kathy Lee Gifford was on.
Oh, with the Impossible Cup.
And the guy.
Wait, was that the Today Show or was that Regis and Kathy Lee?
No, that was Today Show, I believe.
It was the Today Show when they had a bonus hour. The Today Show Extra or something. And they had Hoda Kotb and Kathy Lee Gifford, who were on that show together. And they were always wine drunk and fun and trolly, and I liked that. I thought that was good. So yeah, she says she's out of there. It's been 26 years. That's enough for her. She makes about $8 million a year doing it, but she said, as I write this, my heart is all over the map. I know I'm making the right decision, but it's a painful one, and you all are the reason why. They say two things could be right at the same time, and I'm feeling that so deeply right now. I love you, and it's time for me to leave the show. And on that note, I love the both of you, and it's time for me to leave the show.
About friggin' time.
It's been a blast.
See ya.
It's been so fun, but today will be my last show.
Okay, so we're still going to do the other segments that you have to do. Yeah, I mean, even this segment you can't even get out of for a little bit now.
You don't want me to stay around for another segment? I just was telling people a little early.
I prefer you could stay the rest of the year, at least.
I can't commit to that. I feel two ways at once. I really do.
You got a lot of work to do because Sean's not giving me access to do the thing where I could show the pictures to the stream. So
I don't have access to that. C-Lane does. He's the one with access to that.
Can't even get into the new editing program because you got that seat too. So I mean, all I could do right here is buttons, hashtags on some stuff. But
it's been fun, folks.
It's been nice, yeah, for sure. Do we want to do like a goodbye party thing or?
No, I want to just rip the Band-Aid off. This is it. Sailing off into the sunset.
Do you have any last words?
I will be doing the News Junkie 2, however, and competing against everybody else, against you guys. I'm going to come for We're going to come for you.
You're going to do it by yourself?
I might. I've done that before. I certainly can. I don't know how much I want to yell at the texting service or whatever texting service we have at my new job. Mall SPJ says, is this the result of bullying? Bullying on a daily basis for a very elongated portion of time.
You shouldn't have worn that shirt.
The shirt was a fine shirt. I look nice in the shirt. This shirt, too. I got a pocket on this one right here. What, this shirt?
Yeah, on the top.
Doesn't matter.
What does it say?
Doesn't matter.
Why are you being so weird about it? I just can't read it. It's not me being weird.
I just know it's not going to be a compliment coming from you, so there's no need to.
Oh, my God. I just can't see what I'm not trying to say up or anything. I cannot read it from this far.
I'm saying
being miles away in two different places.
It does. It's fine.
I'm a little bitch. My name is Sean. Is that what is in there?
Yeah. See, this is what I'm talking about, folks. That's it. So I'm going into porn like other people that Sabrina bored and bullied in the past. I'm just going to go straight down that career.
And she thrived in it. Thank you very much.
All right. We're going to take a quick break. We want to hear you and what you have to say. That is important to us. No matter who you are and what opinion you have, well, save for a couple.
Sorry, they're a little late for you, Sean.
We're going to take that break and get your dispatches next. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch right now. When we return, the final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut.
Final.
And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Thursday. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Hit the button, Sean.
I don't have the button.
Go ahead. Mr. Man with his own drum. The button stopped.
This weekend, Real Radio 104.1 smells like the 90s. I'm a loser, baby, so why don't you kill me? Classic alternative this weekend on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Cool Today Weather Center, cooltoday.com.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson, and today is a Fox 35 Storm Alert Day. We're going to be expecting impacts from Hurricane Helene, even though the storm itself is going to be making landfall hundreds of miles away. We can expect tropical storm force wind gusts and upwards of 50 to maybe even 60 miles per hour, the risk of tornadoes, heavy rainfall. All of these things could also lead to scattered power outages, as we had especially throughout the afternoon and evening hours. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Save big during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. Right now, save big on appliances like the GE Stainless Steel Kitchen Suite, because Lowe's knows pros. Valid through 9/27 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Bet live with Hard Rock Bet. Real-time wagering till the very last play. Missing the kickoff doesn't mean all bets are off.
Delay a game on the guy who hasn't bet yet.
Sometimes you just know your team is going to come back. The sportsbook for every kind of player.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Get up to $100 back if your first bet doesn't win. Payable and bonus bet up to $100, not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
I never thought much about final expenses until my dad passed away last year. That's when I decided to take control of my own final expense planning. Then I found the Smart Money Insurance app. I secured a final expense insurance policy that fits my needs and budget. You can get coverage up to $25,000 with policies starting as low as $14 per month. Download the Smart Money Insurance app today and take the first step towards your peace of mind.
Insurance sold by Smart Money Insurance Services, Inc. Underwritten by various insurers. Coverage exclusions and limitations may apply.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight, or is business at an all-time high? Well, maybe it's time for you to sell, retire, and just relax with a bunch of money in the bank. Hi, I'm Andy Cagnetta, and at Transworld Business Advisors, we've been selling businesses for 40 years. And with offices located throughout the world, we have thousands of buyers immigrating to the United States ready to buy your business. Don't wait until the last minute or try to do it yourself. That's a recipe for disaster. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value and how Transworld can maximize your eventual selling price. That's the winning formula. It has never been a better time to sell your business than right now. Call Transworld at 833-SELL-FLA or visit tworld.com. That's 833-SELL-FLA or visit tworld.com.
I'm Chris Walls, and I'm a truck driver from Missouri. For 13 hours a night, I sit in my truck and I drive. Out of boredom, I'll stop and eat. If I'm not doing fast food, I guarantee there's a bag of chips open on my dashboard. Along with that, I'm good for about 4 liters of soda a night. That was all until Andro 400. I started out 4 months ago weighing 341 pounds, and since taking Andro 400, I have dropped 45 pounds. I'm sleeping better. There's no cravings. My knee pain went away. I've had some lower back issues, and I've noticed that went away, and I can only contribute that to Andro 400. One thing that Andro 400 said on the radio ad says it attacks belly fat. Well, let me tell you, it did. I've lost 6 inches. This product really does work.
So guys, if you'd like to experience similar results, then get Andro 400, the safe, natural, and inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Wawa makes the right handcrafted beverages for the right time. And now, handcrafted beverages are just $3 or $4. Jump out of bed for an iced latte. Take a lunch break for a smoothie. Or celebrate with a late-night milkshake. Wawa makes the right beverages for the right time. Now at an even better price. Get smoothies, lattes, or any handcrafted 16-ounce or 24-ounce beverage for just $3 or $4. Gotta have a Wawa.
Honey, I'm going to Wawa for dinner.
Okay, but Ben wants pizza.
Yep.
And Nick wants a burger and fries.
Right.
Oh, and the twins, they won't touch anything except for mac and cheese.
Exactly. Wawa has something for everyone for dinner, so I only have to make one stop to make everyone happy. So, what do you want?
Well, if you're going to Wawa, I have to have a hoagie.
From burgers to hoagies and everything in between, Wawa has dinner for everyone.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations, like the Beatles Now and Then. Search Beatles and listen now on your free iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
Every business faces challenges, but shipping shouldn't be one of them. Turn shipping to your advantage with USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Storm coverage on Real Radio brought to you by Renewal by Andersen, proudly serving the state of Florida for over 20 years. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com.
Real Radio 104.1.
If it's important to you, it's on and probably being mocked by.
Didn't make the cut. And today we're going to wrap everything up for a Thursday. That is all on the way in just a moment. Before we get out of here today, though, we do need to look at what's happening with Hurricane Helene. How bad is this going to be? I've got the latest update, et cetera, et cetera. Here we go. Hurricane Helene Advisory 13A. Helene, this is not the correct one. Let me bring up the correct one here. And they're saying still forecast to strengthen over the North Atlantic during the next couple of days. Really, really strong central pressure and maximum sustained winds are getting up there now.
I'm seeing 120 miles an hour now.
Is it 120 now?
Yeah. Cat 3.
See, so Cat 3 already with a potential to expand a bit more. Once it hits land tonight, it's going to slow down a little bit, but it's booking, man. It's really going fast.
Northeast movement, 16 miles an hour.
That's good for us, though. We had a hurricane one time, and I forgot which one it was because we've been through so many together.
It just sat.
It just sat on top of us.
That was the one last year that brought in so much flooding, I thought.
Yeah, it dumped rain, and it felt like for 48 hours it was raining, and it just didn't go away. And this will not be like that. This one is going to book it across the southeastern United States. Before you know it, tomorrow this thing will be in the Tennessee area. And then Friday into Saturday, it'll be affecting the Midwest, and they'll have a whole bunch of rain there. Then we'll see where it goes from there. But right now we're looking at the beginning of this thing. It should get a little rough. Even those of you in South Florida, our friends in West Palm Beach, you're going to have some impact that you see from this. Not a lot, depending on how everything goes. It could move around a bit, but you'll see something there for sure. And us in Central Florida, if it continues on the way that's going, there will be some winds up into the 50, 60 mile an hour mark, maybe, and a bunch of rain as the storm rips through. Make sure you're getting all the crap out of your yard. Make sure you're preparing like you always do for this stuff. Don't let it catch you blindsided. The other thing on the way out, aside from the lovely Hurricane Helene, was just now they have dropped some documents that have been banned on Twitter. Immediately banned them for the Hack Documents Act. The history of this goes something like this. Iranians wanting to interfere with the election hacked the Trump account, and they've been shopping those documents to a lot of media outlets, including the New York Times and other ones, and nobody has run with them yet. Until now, there's somebody who's running with the J.D. Vance dossier, and they say they're defending themselves, publishing this Iran-hacked document. And so I skimmed through it, and it seems to be a nothing burger. Honestly, all of this is just about the stances. It's 100 or 271 pages, but it's all stances that he's taken publicly. Like, Vance said Trump was a bad candidate in 2016. During the 2016 campaign, Vance indicated this or that. It's what you would do with a document that was a vetting doc on any person that was going to be your VP. And honestly, it's not even that exciting or entertaining. There's nothing in there that grabs my attention.
Like it's not something that every other political candidate has done.
Yeah, this happens all the time. Vance has taken a series of controversial position on culture war topics.
Is there like a table of contents?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now.
A document that big?
This is it right here. Steve Case was a vocal supporter of Hillary Clinton's campaign.
From AOL?
Yeah.
Wow, I haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah. Vulnerabilities stemming from hillbilly elegy. It was boring. It's nothing really sexy here. There must be something better in those hacked documents, but this certainly ain't it. All right. So let's see. Let's do the final dispatches, friend. Yes.
These are the final dispatches, but Sean will probably only play one.
Good luck with Helene. Be safe. Drive safe.
Yeah.
Don't be dumb, and you'll be all right. I
Generators go outside.
in the garage. No, not in the garage. Outside where there's open air and you won't get that CO2 in your lungs. Let's do something here on the way out, starting with this one. Here's Mo Manju, the realtor. It says Sean's new job.
Hey, guys. I hope you guys are doing well. Sean's leaving the show and becoming the new CEO of Blue Chew. Thanks. Bye.
I wish. They're probably raking in money over there. Good for them, man. Let's do this last one here. No, we've already covered that so many times, the whole Social Security thing. Everybody sent that in afterwards. This is going to be the last one. Big Al.
Good afternoon, guys. Talk about well water. Place in Sanford, Flea World, when I was a kid, flea market, they used to have well water there before they got city water. And all the soda fountain drinks, when you got a soda, you could smell the sulfur coming out. It was so gross. But you drank it anyways. It was like $3 back then. So nothing went to waste. So anyway, you guys stay safe. Hopefully, don't get too wet.
You too.
Wiggle, wiggle, pop, pop.
Thank you, Big Al. I'm just going to say this on air. Is it too late to get my out timer, or is that still doable?
Oh, son of a bitch.
In the meantime, we'll do the stories that didn't make the cut. Brought to you by Cento Family Moving and Storage.
That's right. Central Florida's trusted source for local long-distance moving services from packing to delivery. They're fully licensed, insured. They are the best. These are the goats of moving. Very efficient, very fast, and really cool guys. Forget the stress. Move with the best. CENTOmoving.com.
Zephyr's Biker on YouTube says, will TNG be live tomorrow? Yeah, there's nothing that I could see that will stop us from doing the show. I think storm will be largely through at that point. As long as I have power, I'm going to just operate like normal. If I don't
can't
have
get out
power,
of my neighborhood, then I'll do it from home.
Yeah,
I'll let you guys know.
Everything depends on what it looks like after the storm. And if it looks not too bad, then...
Sean, you have 10 seconds.
No, it's not the final one.
We'll be fine. Experts are doubting chemical attack on that Trump rally where all the people had eye pain afterwards. They're saying, we don't think it was a chemical attack. They're looking into 10 attendees who sat behind the former president on the right side of the stage who had eye-related issues, including vision loss and extreme irritation. They think that it could possibly have been the way the lights were reflecting through that area, but they're looking deeper into it. Am I reading this all right?
No, this next one.
Yep.
Okay. But that's the real one? Okay.
10.
So we do need to, hold on. We do need to get into Today I Learned that. Is that good?
Yeah.
Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
Loosey goosey. It's a Thursday with a
That's my
hurricane
fault.
going on. We got it all. We got it all under control over here. Everything's good.
I feel so out of control.
Today I learned this guy right here.
Michael Jackson.
That's right. That's him. Michael Jackson. Following his death, his sister discovered 2 hard drives at her brother's home. I bet she was scared when she found those. They contained more than 100 unreleased songs, many of which were unregistered. In 2010, Sony signed a deal with Jackson's estate to release 10 posthumous albums, but only 3 were ever released. And maybe the
Wasn't
rest
there
just
a
suck.
song like Justin Timberlake had released with him that was in one
They
of the
recorded on it or something. I don't know if they actually did it together.
Yeah, there was one that they did release that I remember, a single, but there hasn't been too much. Maybe they weren't great. Maybe that's why they never released them to begin with. This is weird. Today I learned the first Sony Walkman had 2 headphone jacks. Why? So you could share it with somebody else. They thought it would be considered rude to listen by yourself. This feature was removed because nobody used it. Nobody used the dual listening thing. It was called, they also had a hotline button, which muted the music on the Walkman and turned it into a microphone so you could sing along with the song.
Okay.
Bring that
I
back.
guess people didn't like those. That sounds like kind of a cool feature, honestly.
Until you listen back to it, it's like, oh, never mind. I shouldn't be singing or recording.
What was I
it.
doing here? Today I learned this band right here.
Let's, oh my God. Scorpions?
The Scorpions is correct. The band The Scorpions is still making music and actively touring after 46 years. A German rock band formed in Hanover back in the 60s, but really they were fully together in the 70s. If you include the 60s, oh my God, they have been around for longer than any other German band.
They just announced their 60th anniversary, I thought.
That is a long time to be together. Yeah. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place,